Willie, Trenta and Churchill and surrounding areas. It's on and on, and it was off, and we all had to dash out and get water and stuff.
When was that?
Well, when was this?
When did it go
This
off?
is probably a few days ago. And there was no notice given, right? I don't know how they would give you notice, but there was no notice given. And then everybody was in there, and everybody's ringing around everybody to see what the story is and that. And it was very inconvenient. I know there'd be worse things that could be happening, but it was just a very inconvenience. Had to get water from mum and dad. I get water.
It's back on now, though.
No, it went off again last night, and nobody said. Do you know? But who would be responsible for
Irish
that?
Water. So you're in the Old Town, Creasmith, Bonamy, Cornwall.
There's a right few texts in this morning.
All Letterkenny and
Yeah,
surrounds.
Trenta, Churchill, all of that. Yeah.
Work will be finished at 10 a.m.
But sure, the work was supposed to be done. Do you know what I mean?
I know, but I don't know what
Come on.
happened.
Do I have to go out with the shovel and start digging the reservoir? What would be the word?
It's Irish Water's problem.
Right. Are you going to be talking to them today? Can we get them on for the crack to see what
it's amazing how, because something affects you now, all of a sudden you take an interest in it. I've never heard you
just
talk
not
about
me.
water
No,
before,
but just going by the text this morning.
No,
but
we're going to chase it up. I was notified. I think it was a reservoir fault or something, but we'll check out what's going on.
Probably
and
it wouldn't have been a frosted pipe over, and they couldn't.
Think it was.
I don't know.
Don't think so good.
But should we be listening today to see?
To me. It's definitely something to do with a burst water main. So
right, I suppose, yeah, maybe. Okay. But you'll get to the bottom.
But
of it.
It's amazing how reliant we come on. I mean, there's some people in this part of the county, and the water is out every other week. It's amazing how the difference it makes, doesn't it, when it's not working?
Yeah, we just reliant. We just take things for granted sometimes.
100% we do. But come here, they're supposed to have the work finished at 10. We'll try and get an answer for you, Lee. Is that
Fair
right?
play. Well, for everybody. It's not just for me. It's not me personally, May Fane. It's for everybody.
I know you're not talking about yourself, but of course we will.
Aye, good man.
All right.
Because you're the man who gets stuff done. You're like Santa Claus.
Oh, he's taking the hand, All right, it's a little after 9 now. Let's get a news update with the one and only Donald Kavanagh.
Thank you, Greg. Good morning. The family of Private Sean Rooney has been reunited with his remains. The Air Corps jet bringing his body home from Beirut landed at Casement Aerodrome in Baldonnel, Dublin, just after 8:30 this morning. The 23-year-old Dundalk native was based in Newton Cunningham and was a former pupil at St Eunan's College. He was killed in an attack on UN peacekeeping duty in Lebanon on Wednesday. Taoiseach Leo Varadkar says the nation stands with Private Rooney's fiancée and family.
The main thing I think this week really is to stand with and express our condolences to Private Rooney's family, his friends and colleagues, because it's been a long time since we lost a soldier in combat in Lebanon, but it does remind us how important that mission is. And I've been there, had an opportunity to meet with the soldiers, meet with the local community, and it's allowed people in that part of Lebanon for the last 2 decades to lead a relatively normal life.
It's reported plans to construct a footbridge between Lifford and Strabane may be delayed because of planning issues on the site of Donegal County Council. A report in yesterday's Sunday Independent claims the footbridge, part of the €9 million riverine project, has hit a planning roadblock. Donegal County Council, it says, cannot obtain a foreshore licence to carry out the works. Elon Musk says he will comply with the findings of a Twitter poll about his role as CEO of the company. The billionaire launched the poll overnight, asking if he should step down from the job. He's been under fire for making and then sharply reversing a number of decisions about the social media platform, including one yesterday restricting posts with links to rival sites like Facebook and Instagram. Business editor Joe Lynham says the poll findings are already pointing one way.
He has 122 million followers. 14 million people have voted, including yours truly. And yes, 56.8%, heading for 57%, think that he should step down as the head of Twitter. If he agrees to abide by this, he probably will go back to the head of Tesla.
Car numbers and cattle herds could be cut as part of the new climate action plan. It's back on the agenda for Cabinet this week, and according to reports, it's mostly finished. According to the Irish Times, the ambitious draft plan to cut emissions involves a 20% reduction in the number of cars on the road and a 10% reduction in cattle herds by 2030. And Met Éireann says it's looking unlikely we'll see a white Christmas, but there may be some flurries of snow in Donegal on Christmas week. A top tropical airflow has caused temperatures to rise significantly today following last week's cold snap. Temperatures are due to fall back to average values again this week. Meteorologist Michelle Dillon says they're not sure about Sunday's weather for Christmas Day, but it doesn't look like snow.
Some uncertainty in over Christmas, but at the moment it looks like staying on the more average temperatures, some wet and some windy weather. So at the moment it doesn't look like it, but some uncertainty in that. And as I said, there could be a chance of a few wintry flurries straight after Christmas, maybe into St. Stephen's Day, especially in northern parts.
Windy today with fresh to strong and gusty southerly winds. Cloudy with outbreaks of showery rain in the morning. Heavy at times with some spot flooding. Top temperatures in the early afternoon 9 to 12 degrees Celsius with cooler, drier and brighter conditions following later in the afternoon. And that's Highland Radio News. Back with more at 10 o'clock.
Air Canada Flight 706 to Dublin is now boarding. Thank you, ma'am. Enjoy your flight.
Landing your dream job in Toronto. Losing your J1 heart in New York City. Finding yourself in a Bangkok hostel. Yet it's touching down in Dublin that still gives you goosebumps. Hiya, Dad.
Hello, love. Come on, your mum's got the kettle nearly boiled away.
Barry's Tea. We make the tea, you make the moment.
The 9 till noon show with Letterkenny Credit Union. Now offering MyCU current account and debit MasterCard, bringing full banking features, delivered with the same local trustworthy service of your credit union. The county's #1 talk show, The 9 till noon show on Highland Radio. And now it's time for the talk of the Northwest, the 9 to noon show with Greg Hughes on Highland Radio.
And a very good morning to you. We're into Christmas week on this Monday, the 19th of December, 6 minutes past 9. How are you getting on? Are you enjoying the balmy weather out there today? 13 degrees on the way to work. I didn't even need my hat and my gloves. I wore them anyway. But still, it's great to see the temperatures up a little bit, isn't it? And we'll see how the week fares. Right, the lines are open for you right now. WhatsApps and text to 08660 25,000, 08660 25,000, or give us a call on 07491 25,000. That's for your calls and comments as well, but also your requests. If you want to say hello to someone this Christmas week as we head into Christmas, feel free to use your #1 chat show here in the Northwest. It's the 9 till noon show. We'll be more than happy to do that for you later. We've got live music much of this week, actually. In fact, today as well, we've got some wonderful live music for you. It's a real treat. And of course, you can watch it all. You can watch our guest in studio. You can watch our guests as they join us on video call as well. How do you do so? Well, you go to our website, highlandradio.com, click watch live, or go straight to YouTube, Highland Radio Ireland, or you can go to our Facebook pages. And also to a little later on, Kevin and Anya are out and about across the Northwest this morning, as our teams will be across the whole week, and we're giving away some really great prizes. We are giving away goodie bags. Now, the word goodie bag gets bandied around a lot on a programme like this, but this is good stuff, right? They're all good, but you know what I mean? This will make a difference at Christmas. We've got some really high-valued vouchers and what have you. So they're en route somewhere in one of the Highland Radio vehicles, so you can keep an eye out for that. They'll join us around about 10:30 to let us know where they are, and then from then you can call in, say hello to them. They're in the vehicle, and leave your name there, and you'll be entered into a draw for a great hamper, a great prize, which will be made then in the last hour of the show between 11 and 12. And we also have, wait for it, not 5, not 10, not 15, but 20 bags of coal to give away on the show this week. We've been playing Say What for the last couple of weeks, and you seem to have enjoyed it, and certainly thousands of you have taken part in the competition, so we really appreciate that. This week, the prize, 20 bags of coal. I'll tell you more about that a little later on in the programme. Right, okay, so let's have a look at what's making the front pages of this morning's newspapers. And there is an image of Private Sean Rooney pictured on the front of the paper today. Very talented, lovely, seemingly handsome young man, very sadly lost to his family, his friends, all of us really. He died in active service in Lebanon. The remains of Private Sean Rooney will be reunited with his family today after arriving at Casement Aerodrome in Baldonnel last night. His remains were brought home by the Irish Air Corps CASA aircraft. A solemn UN ceremony was held to honour Private Rooney in Beirut Airport prior to his departure. The 23-year-old from Newtown, Cunningham, died while carrying out UN peacekeeping duties. The Defence Forces and Private Rooney was killed in active service in a serious incident at around 9:15 Irish time, when a two-vehicle convoy carrying members of the 121st Infantry Battalion came under small arms fire from as described here, a hostile mob. And just It is a reminder. We talked about this week, a reminder of the dangers our Irish soldiers are in over there. And it's not just when we hear about these awful tragedies as well, but more who have been there have been speaking out about how stressful it is to actually be over there. And there is a wider conversation about maybe is it time with the changing political situation over there, and also the global changing political situation with the relationships with Russia, etc. If it's time to consider our role over there. The Irish Daily Mail treat our soldiers' death as murder. New Foreign Affairs Minister Micheál Martin's facing calls to treat Private Sean Rooney's death as murder and ensure justice is served as his remains are reunited with his family today. The 24-year-old, who hailed from Newtown, Cunningham, was killed when his convoy came under attack in Lebanon last week. His colleague, who was seriously injured in the ambush, is now believed to be in a more optimistic condition, I believe is what they're trying to say there. Independent TD and former Army Ranger Cathal Berry told the new Taoiseach and Minister for Foreign Affairs his first priority must be to ensure the Lebanese bring these murderers to justice. Specialist teams have flown out, including military, police and counsellors. And there are 3 investigations by the UN and the Irish and Lebanese authorities. Mr. Berry said Mr. Martin will have to take a hands-on role there. The Derry News this morning. Derry is the second safest city in the north of Ireland in terms of burglary. According to the statistics compiled by Crime Rate, Derry had the second lowest burglary rate in the last year, with 2.03 burglaries per 1,000 residents. Crime Rate is a data analysis project dedicated to uncovering crime trends. So good news if you're living in Derry, I suppose. On to the Irish Times this morning, and was it a much ado about nothing? We're going to have a quick chat with John McAteer in the wake of the reshuffle following the change of leadership at the head of government. Leo Varadkar now Taoiseach, isn't he? Yeah, he's Taoiseach. Micheál Martin's in Foreign Affairs. Charles McConalogue retains his portfolio. I think the other minister really that a lot of people around here might be keeping their eyes on, Darragh O'Brien. He retains his position in housing, obviously, because of the decisions he makes, having a crucial impact on so many lives here. So not much change, but we'll have a quick chat with John McAteer to see what it all means. But Fine Gael's set to take the role of Minister for European Affairs, but Fianna Fáil will hang on to the lucrative sports portfolio in this week's reshuffle of the junior ranks of government. So it was the senior ministers last week, the juniors this week. Saturday's historic changeover of power within the coalition saw minimal changes at cabinet after Fine Gael leader Leo Varadkar. He assumed the role of Taoiseach from Fianna Fáil leader Micheál Martin. He's now Taoiseach and Minister for Foreign Affairs, while Mr Martin's predecessor in Ivy House, Simon Coveney, well, he takes Mr Varadkar's old job as Minister for Enterprise. Changes to the ranks of the junior ministers are due to be announced on Wednesday. But do you ever get the sense it doesn't really matter to us, really? What difference might it make? On to the Irish Independent. Animal Charity has said the number of dogs being surrendered is at an all-time high after it received 2,612 requests from dog owners this year. Dogs Trust has asked the public to think about the long-term commitment involved in owning a dog, warning that while puppies may be incredibly cute, they will grow into bigger dogs who require training, daily walks and all the expenses that come with dog ownership. It said there's been a rapid rise in the number of stray and surrendered animals across the country, citing the example of a teacher named Carmel, and you can read on about that. But a lot of dogs that were lovely, cute puppies and grew up to lovely, big, cute dogs, but families no longer able to look after them. I suppose, too, the cost of living has to be a factor as well. I'm not sure how much it costs to maintain and feed a dog, but I would say a lot of people are probably having to make a decision. You know, I think the default position when someone gives up a dog is that, oh, well, they bought a puppy and a dog's for life and they didn't realise it, and now their life's changed and they're being selfish and want to give it back. But I'd say there's a lot out there, and haven't really seen the point made before, but we talk about having to choose between, food and heat. You know, there are people going to have to choose between, presumably, whether or not they can afford the expense of a dog versus feeding their children, for example. As I say, I don't really know how much it costs to feed a bigger dog, but I'm sure it is not insignificant. I'm sure you couldn't do it all on scraps and stuff. I'm not even sure if that's appropriate. I don't have a dog, you'll be glad to hear. But as I say, I think that just the squeeze and the cost of living is going to make people have to make those decisions, as well as just sort of maybe making a mistake. Because your position can change really, really very, very quickly, as we've all seen. Conor McGregor really showing his true colours, you could argue. He was abusing someone online at the weekend on Twitter. Radio star PJ Gallagher's the person. He's hit back at Conor McGregor after the cruel MMA fighter mocked his mental health woes. The controversial brawler sent a string of abusive late-night messages aimed at the comedian, where he appeared to make fun of the 47-year-old's well-publicised battle with depression. In an ill-written Twitter post that has since been deleted, Conor took aim at brave PJ for speaking publicly about his struggles and bizarrely branded him a prawn. And he went on to say, to just insult him and then make reference to his relationship and stuff like that there. Really, really not very nice. And another person not really, really nice was, did you hear or did you read Jeremy Clarkson's comments on not on social media, actually. That'd be bad enough. I don't understand why people don't like, is it Meghan Markle, isn't it? And I'm not being cute there. It's just not something I follow. I don't really care. When I say I don't care, there's no negativity in that. It doesn't bother me. Really, I'm not interested in the royal family. I never have been. I'm not really interested in their interworkings of their relationships, and I'm not really interested in watching 6 hours on Netflix about how people feel. There's an awful lot going on in this world. No one is injured or what. No one is robbing Peter to pay Paul. They're all very, very well off. They've fallen out, and there's some difference. And I don't really. It was on in the background yesterday. Ashley was watching some of it. I was watching something else on my laptop on the quiet. But anyway, that's another story. But I don't understand why someone like Jeremy Clarkson or Piers Morgan, why they care so much. Why are they so angry? Why do they have this hatred towards someone? I don't really get that. And I also don't understand how it's news, how it's TV news, how it's news in a newspaper, how much these old men dislike this woman. I really don't get it. But anyway, it's really strange to watch when you don't understand. So if anyone can explain why they dislike her so much. As I say, you can have an opinion. They're in the public eye. We all do. We sort of go, oh, I don't like her, or I don't like him, or they're nice, or what. But this hatred that they seem to have for this person, I really, really don't get it. And I don't get Conor McGregor's hatred of that other person either. You can dislike someone, but why speak about someone or to someone like that? I really just don't get it. Did you ever enjoy the Jaws? You've watched the Jaws film, aren't you? We're going to need a bigger boat. Steven Spielberg was responsible for that film, but he's been speaking about the impact it's had on sharks. I never really thought about it like this, but Steven Spielberg says he feels bad about the boom in shark hunting that followed his 1975 blockbuster Jaws. The Hollywood director said great whites could have a grudge against him after the movie spawned a rise in sports fishing across the US. He told Lauren Laverne on Radio 4's Desert Island Discs, I truly, and to this day, regret the decimation of the shark population because of the book and the film. I really, truly regret that. I suppose every action has a reaction, but I never thought that... it makes sense now, but he's regretting it. How many great whites are gone because of him? Right, and there is plenty in the papers today about Harry and Meghan, and it's the most watched show in Ireland on Netflix, so let's not pretend you're not interested. Royal outcasts Harry and Meghan are demanding a summit to thrash out their globally televised grievances and want an apology for the pain and suffering Megxit caused them. Days after their bombshell fly-on-the-wall Netflix series finished, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex are said to be angry no olive branch has been forthcoming. But you would think Prince Charles or King Charles or whatever he's called now would release a public statement and say, look, let bygones be bygones, call off the dogs, call out Clarkson and Morgan, who had dined with his wife a couple of days ago, say, look, leave them alone. Let's get on with whatever they do. But no, he seems to want to. He seems content to stand back and watch it all happen. Anyway, as I say, if you're interested in that or whatever else you want to talk about, 08660 25,000. If you also, as I say, want to send a request or dedication to someone wherever they may be listening today, feel free to use the phone lines for that. And also, we have got 20 bags of coal to give away on Friday, plus a wee gift for one of you who is the daily winner. And we're going to go back to the breakfast show with Lee Gooch, the naughty alarm clock, for Say What? What's the missing word here?
Megan, you can take it away. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, what is the missing word there? Here is one more listen to it.
Megan, you can take it away. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
All right, what comes next? Text your answer, your name and where you're from to 08660 25,000, 08660 25,000, or give us a call on 074 91 25,000. You could win 20 bags of coal.
Megan, you can take it away. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
The newspapers are courtesy of Kelly Centra Mountaintop Letterkenny, the 2022 C-Store National Off-Licence of the Year.
Make getting ready for Christmas easy with McElhenney's. We have everything you need under one roof. Open till 8 p.m. Monday to Friday. Can't make it in store? Shop online or click and collect at mcelhenneys.com.
All ready for next year? We are with our award-winning Seat SUVs. The bold crossover Arona, the family favourite Ateca, and the spacious 7-seater Tarraco. All ready with great PCP finance offers and a service plan for just $9.99 a month. Available to order at DMG Motors, Claw Road, Donegal Town. Book a test drive today. Visit seat.ie to find your 231 SUV. Finance provided by Volkswagen Financial Services Ireland, trading as Seat Financial Services. Subject to lending criteria. Terms and conditions apply. Volkswagen Financial Services Ireland Limited, trading as Seat Financial Services, is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
It's not just that Sammy has lost his home in the conflict. It's not just that everyone he's ever loved is gone and he's been forced to walk hundreds of miles alone to find safety. And most of all, it's not just that Sammy is only 7 years old. Like thousands of children in regions torn apart by conflict, Sammy is living in fear, and it's not just. This Christmas, your love can make all the difference. Visit trocra.org or call 1800 408 408. Trocra. Until love conquers fear.
A public interest message from Donegal County Council and the Road Safety Working Group. This Christmas and New Year, the main message to all motorists is never ever drink or drug drive, because the consequences for you and others is life-changing. At best, you could risk losing your licence. At worst, you could be responsible for someone's death or serious injury. Remember, if you drink, never drive. Even one drink will affect your driving. Plan alternative ways to get home before you go out. Designate someone who has not been drinking. Arrange a taxi. Ask a parent or another driver to pick you up. Let's make our roads safer for everyone. For all your home heating needs, oil, gas and solid fuels. National Fuels, Pierce Road, Letterkenny, 9137 400. National Fuels, bringing you the time at...
Okay, the time is 23 minutes past 9. You're very welcome back to the 9 till noon show on this Monday morning of Christmas week, and much, much milder, isn't it, as I mentioned at the start of the programme. A bit of a relief. Okay, let's say good morning now to John McAteer, editor of the Tyrconnell Tribune. Good morning, John.
Morning to you, Greg. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you keeping? How's your weekend?
Watching football.
Yes, good game, wasn't it?
Watching the final of Strictly Come Dancing and keeping an eye on what's going on at Leinster House. Not that that was any big surprise or any big
How would
shock.
you rank them? All right, so from 1 to 3, if in terms of enjoyment, you've got the World Cup final, you've got Strictly Come Dancing, you've got Strictly Come Dancing, and you've got the Cabinet Reshuffle. And from 1 to 3, which from 1 to 3,
it was the best World Cup final ever.
That's number one.
I just went down to the wire.
Yes.
Strictly Come Dancing, as always, away out there, great show. Cabinet was way down on that. The reshuffle. All that was happening there was that they're just changing their brass plates on their doors, because you had 3 leaders in charge of government since June 2020. You still have 3 leaders in charge of the same dull, boring government up for the next 2 years, I'd imagine.
But I suppose the fact that there's the fact that there was very little change shows it's positivity. It's a strong, stable government. They're obviously very happy with how they're doing. They don't feel there needs to be any drastic changes to reinvigorate a department or a particular problem that we might have in this country.
What about the thousands, the tens of thousands waiting for a house?
Well, that is what you feel. I'm on about what they may feel.
Yeah, well, what they may feel and what we may feel and what the election may feel may be a different country. It's a government that could easily be out of touch with the public, given that Fine Gael are now coming to the end of their 12 years in government. It's a point where you come to live in a bubble. Micheál Martin, I suppose, was coming in there in 2016 after a disastrous election in 2011 in a support role with them, and then he joined along with Eamon Ryan in 2020. You're never going to have a satisfactory government run by three chiefs, and everything is toned down a little bit, and everything's got to be on message, and that message has to be one of positivity. It's going to be it's setting out the stall for the general election effectively. Do you trust stability the way we're doing it? Are you going to be happy to be without a house? Are you going to be happy without a hospital bed or even get onto a list for an appointment? Or do you go for change? That's the challenge that they're throwing down.
Well, let me ask you a question about that, because you're talking about looking forward towards the election, which is scheduled to take place in 2022. Obviously, I believe it where Fine Gael had a bit of a pop at Sinn Féin, talking about, politics of division. But Sinn Féin, from what I've seen, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, were applauding on their feet Micheál Martin. Was that with one eye on the change that you talk of?
Of course it was with one eye.
Well, that's quite interesting. I'll be honest with you, John, that was the most interesting thing from the whole weekend for me, is how Sinn Féin were so gracious towards Micheál Martin.
But at the same time, Micheál Martin he's a very generous man. He's a very amenable man. He's in politics a very, very long time, and he's well got by all parties around Leinster House. He doesn't have that abrasiveness. He comes across as an honest broker, and that is to a great extent why that standing ovation was there, and I think it was well deserved as well. We'll see if Varadkar gets a standing ovation when he's standing down. I doubt that.
How would you rate Micheál Martin's tenure out of 10 over the last couple of years then?
He's been the best performer across the whole cabinet. He hasn't been spectacular, but he hasn't put a foot wrong, really. He's handled difficult briefs, especially in the last couple of years, getting us out of COVID and the recession. He's been a very populist figure in every respect. I suppose he hasn't got that bounce within his own party. That's quite surprising, because a government in office for 2.5 years, this year with a surplus of 11 billion to throw away willy-nilly to anybody that has an ESB meter in Ireland, getting a free handout of €800. That is wrong. But on the international stage at the United Nations and across the EU, and indeed handling the Ukraine crisis, Micheál Martin has done quite well.
All right, but let me put it to you like this. The reason Micheál Martin, and I'm playing devil's advocate here, the reason Micheál Martin would be perceived to being having done quite well is because he'd done everything that he was told to do by Europe and by America. They say jump, and he said how high. He didn't, they didn't put a foot wrong in following what some would see as the bosses Europe told him to do. Now, that's to say that I'm just putting that to you for your point of view on that. I mean, of course, he followed the party line on an EU-wide level.
To a certain extent, you had three men in a boat, and that boat was never going to be rocked, because if any one of them rocked it, especially on that key issue of climate change and getting that agreement of 25%, which I believe that they won't even reach by 2030, there was a lot of consensus there. Whether it was going to be better for the country or better for the political parties is a question that remains to be answered. I would have felt that keeping the government in office, keeping stability, the big ticket issues are always going to be health and housing, It's now up to climate change. It's up to the cost of living. There are no big changes going to happen there in the next couple of years, as long as the government has enough money to give away at budget time. Even though the budget didn't give a big bounce to Micheál Martin, his own personal rating is good, but the party rating is woeful. Likewise, Leo Varadkar will come in here now and will attempt to reinvigorate that to some extent. Now, what he's been doing for the past 12 years remains to be seen, because this is the second term, Taoiseach. The same problems, the same old, but only bigger and longer queues. And that's going to be the hallmark of the next couple of years, because the whole emphasis is not going to be on what we do or what we don't do, but how do we keep the opposition out? How do we stop Sinn Féin? How do we turn around the opinion polls? This is what it's going to be. It's going to be a pretty cynical exercise.
Yeah, and how Leo Varadkar strategises that, we shall see. But my question again, though, is Sinn Féin's ovation for Micheál Martin, is that the makeup then of the next government? Like, there are little subtle indicators. Maybe it was just a mark of respect, recognising the difficult role leading any government there might be. But I think it was people before profit who chose not to. Sinn Féin could have chosen not to. You're talking about, like, I'm just wondering, are maybe Fine Gael being cast aside, and we are seeing there the future government?
Well, that's very possible. I wouldn't rule that out. But given that Leo Varadkar is going to come in there, he's going to try and build that. He's going to try and increase his vote. He has a long, long way to go. Remember that Fine Gael is the third party. After Sinn Féin's vote and after Fianna Fáil's vote, Sinn Féin would have been in third place, a poor third place. And I suppose that ovation that we'll go back to, I think that was spontaneous. And I think it was well deserved, because Micheál Martin is an ordinary, he's a very decent man. Mm-hmm. He's a very decent man. He might not be the most spectacular of Taoiseach, but he has been a very honourable man, and he has carried the flag for Ireland at the highest level, and he really hasn't put a foot wrong very much. Unspectacular, I suppose, is the best way to describe him, and that would be the best way mainly to describe almost all of the cabinet. You know, Micheál Martin has been the one outstanding figure there. He may be bland, he may be boring, but he has got on with it. And so far as driving policy forward, that's not what it's about anymore. It's about selling a message to the electorate. Tried to convince you and me, we're not going to be convinced anyway, but to sell an electorate to the 3 million of people who might vote at the next election in 2 years' time, or maybe sooner.
Well, and some people are upset that Leo Varadkar, let's not forget, I think he was the only sitting Taoiseach that wasn't elected on the first count in history. It took 5 counts to get him over the line, and his party mustered 21% of first preference votes. Some people believe that it's not really very democratic that he's now the leader of government, de facto leader of the country, you could say. But that's not how it works, is it? I mean, we have proportional representation, and it throws these things up.
Absolutely it does, because the whole emphasis at the last general election, there was a movement for change, but not enough. Regardless of how you're going to present it, Sinn Féin's vote was much too low, and by way of seats they would have needed to be into the high 40s or indeed the low 50s to have a strong call to be the lead party. As it was, they had a phenomenal result, given that they didn't perform that well in the 2 previous elections, either the local elections or indeed the presidential election, and that was a huge setback for them. They were seen as falling back and probably wouldn't hold their current seats. Instead of that, they were way up there at 37. Fianna Fáil were at 37, plus the Cancoria. And Fine Gael were determined to go back to the back benches and try and rebuild the party from there. That was Leo Varadkar's expressed wish, until the situation presents itself. What do we do with Sinn Féin? How do we keep them out of it? And there's going to be a strategy between now and the next election. There's going to be a very robust parliament. The exchanges between Mary Lou McDonald and between Pearse Doherty and Varadkar are going to be very, very sharp.
But what I'll be watching with interest again, and I'm sorry to labour a point, because I would be very interested to see if there's any change in language from Micheál Martin about maybe the future makeup of the government. The interesting thing, I think, will be is how strong that relationship between a Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael which might jump the ship looking forward to 2025. I think that sort of dynamic might be quite interesting over the next couple of years. Outside of that, I don't really see what can change.
What will change is that the housing lists are going to get longer and the waiting lists for hospitals are going to get longer because we're not making a dent in them. The reality is that the vision, the programme for government 2040, rebranding Ireland, the housing targets are way too low. The last census highlighted that, it envisioned population growing by about another 1 million in that period. Effectively, it looks very clearly that it's going to grow by about 1.5 million, which would indicate that we're going to need a house building programme not of 28,000 or of 33,000. We're going to need numbers over the next decade as high as 50,000, say 47, 48,000. One of the big surprises to me on Saturday was the demotion of Jack Chambers. Jack Chambers would be seen as an up-and-coming pretender to the throne in Sinn Féin or in Fianna Fáil. The reality is he's a young man, he's 32, he's out in Dublin West there, he has a safe seat. Why was he demoted? I could understand the Chief Whip's role had to change, didn't expect it would go to Hildegard Norton. Brendan Griffin of Kerry would have been the preferred option there amongst the grassroots. But Fine Gael tend to do things. Hildegard Norton hasn't lit many fires with her performance across the Dáil. I know she's based in Galway. They should have a safe seat there, but it may not be her seat. Likewise, Peter Burke would have been another potential contender. He's probably in that Department of Local Government and Planning, and they've made a mess up of that there at the weekend when it became aware that the whole democratic principle of objections was going to be tossed aside. That is a mess that has to be sorted out. But Jack Chambers, if Fianna Fáil might have a hope of replacing Micheál Martin, it is very, very likely that Jack Chambers will be the man, although he's at 32. He's seen as pretty young, but he might be the one dynamic in the party that would confront the Sinn Féin gallop.
Right, fascinating.
He has gone to a fairly nondescript department in transport. He's going to be looking after delays at Dublin Airport and the ports, and he's been across tourism and the arts, culture, the Gaeltacht, and sports funding. That is as a junior minister, as a super junior minister, he will still be there as a super junior, but he will have lost all those functions it's definitely a demotion for him.
Yeah.
And that may well have been pretty well calculated in case that there's a rump in Fianna Fáil that want to change the leader, because Micheál Martin seems determined. And the election will come sooner than any was expected. I don't think they're going to let it run into March 25. It'll probably come towards the early autumn of 2024, and that's not all that long away,
No, for sure.
And if there's going to be a rump building within Fianna Fáil, as I expect there will be, Jack Chambers would be the obvious choice.
Fascinating. Yeah. We have Minister Charlie McConnell also will be joining us after the break. John, always fascinating to get your insight, and I agree with everything, much of what you've said as it relates to Chambers. But thanks for your time today. Thanks for coming on with us. It's really appreciated.
Thank you, Greg.
Take care of yourself. All right, thank you very much indeed. 08660 25,000. That's the WhatsApp. That's the text number. We'll be back with more on the programme after these.
The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union, with monster loans available up to €60,000 for all occasions. Visit letterkennycu.ie.
When it comes to food or heat, many families will face impossible choices this Christmas. Please support the St. Vincent de Paul annual appeal. Donate locally or at svp.ie. Thank you.
Charlie McClafferty Funeral Directors, serving Letterkenny and the surrounding areas for over 100 years. Charlie McClafferty Funeral Directors. Let our family take care of your family and guide you through a difficult time.
Brian McCormick Sports and Leisure, Main Street, Letterkenny. New for Christmas. Check out the O'Neill's Donegal Peak range for all the family. Lightweight padded jackets matched up with quarter zips and tees. Donegal training jersey for kids and adults from only €35. Save €10. New range of Donegal hats and accessories for that ideal Christmas gift. Give the gift of sport this Christmas. In store and online at bmcsports.ie.
Merry Yuletide Get more prizes for your money this Christmas at TK Maxx. We have amazing deals on fab gifts for all your loved ones. From fancy slippers and designer candles to cuddly toys at wow prices, so you don't need to compromise on quality. I think I'm going to need a bigger sleigh. Christmas nailed for less at TK Maxx.
Mike Denver in concert with guests Brendan Shine and Philomena Begley at the Mount Erigal Hotel, Letterkenny on January 6th and Millennium Forum Derry on March 18th. Tickets now on sale at both venues and ticketmaster.ie. That's Mike Denver with Philomena Begley and Brendan Shine in Letterkenny and Derry. The perfect Christmas gift. This Christmas, choose great party food from the Inspired by Centra range at Kelly Centra, Letterkenny. It includes brie and cranberry tartlets, goat's cheese bruschetta, mini quiches, boulevants, and so much more. Also, a great selection of cheeses and specialty meats for the perfect cheese board. All you need for a great Christmas at Kelly Centra, Mountaintop, Letterkenny. The C-Store National Forecourt Retailer of the Year.
Tune in this Tuesday to the Community Garda information slot, on air after 10 a.m. on the 9 till noon show in association with Sheridan Security Systems. Call today and get your zero-wire alarm system from €299. Sheridan Security, 91-26025.
Spoil your friends and family this Christmas with a gift voucher from Castle Grove House. Order now by calling 915-1118 or order online at castlegrove.com.
Okay, we are joined on the programme now by Agriculture, Food and the Marine Minister, Charlie McConaloe. Good morning to you, Charlie. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Greg. Good to be with you. Thanks.
And congratulations are in order. I mean, you know, anything could have happened in this reshuffle, but obviously your government satisfied with the work that you're doing. So this is an endorsement of you. So something to be very proud of, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, listen, just first of all, on the morning, isn't it, Greg, just to extend my thoughts to the Rooney family. The Private Sean Rooney is coming back this morning as we speak to Casement Aerodrome. So it's a sad time for his family and indeed for everybody in the Defence Forces and for all that knew him in Newton Cunningham and the county. And he comes from a long a family tradition himself of serving in the Defence Forces, and indeed we have a very strong tradition in our own county of serving in the Defence Forces with a really important base in Finner Camp. And you know, no more than in relation to Gardaí, for example, it's a real vocation, and often everyone can get complacent in relation to the danger that's involved in serving our own people, but also in serving and bringing our resources to bear internationally to do good work. And Sean certainly, from all that knew him and all of the coverage, seemed to be, I think, a tremendous example of what was great about our Defence Force and what's great about our young people. So my thoughts, and I know all of ours, are very much with the family over the time ahead, and this morning in particular. And listen, just to go on, so yeah, no, I was delighted and relieved to be appointed again as Minister for Agriculture, Food and the Marine. You never ever know in politics what is going to happen, and obviously I worked hard over the last couple of years in the role, serving the farming sector and the fishery sector, but also worked hard in relation to our own county and bringing investment into the county. But every time there's a change, anything can happen. There's lots of talent within our own party, and indeed there's, you know, it also remained to be seen up until the end as well which departments would necessarily stay with which party. So I was honoured to have the role to be reappointed, and I just want to first of all thank the constituents of Donegal who elected me as a TD for the last 3 times, and indeed to the council before that for having the opportunity to serve them and to work in government now on their behalf over the last while and again. And also to thank my own family for their continuing support, and also to thank my own party, the membership of my own party, who've been tremendous support throughout over the last period of time and continue to be, and indeed our councillors who I work very closely with, and look forward now to continuing that work over the time ahead.
Yeah, in terms of farming, there were farming leaders within the farming community that wanted you to stay on. You've I mean, obviously, you're always going to face criticism as a minister. That comes with the job, and hopefully it's always polite and not personal. Not polite, and I mean, it can be robust, but you know what I mean? You're going to get criticism because you've big decisions to make. But you know, there's been no protests as such on a grand scale. But the next 2 years could be more challenging for you because, of course, you know, we have Leo Varadkar reaffirming the commitment to climate change, and as soon as we talk about climate change, we almost seem to go down the path of least resistance and start blaming farmers for everything. In that regard, what are your plans for the next 2 years to advance, what targets we may have to meet within the farming community? Do you accept it's going to be tough?
It's always tough and challenging. And I think that's the same across all departments in relation to the difficulties of keeping things going in a good direction. But listen, I mean, there's been lots of challenges over the last 2 years, and I don't expect it to be any different. And in some ways, the fact that it's about moving forward with some of the key decisions that have been made now. So obviously, over the last 18 months, the Common Agricultural Policy has been adopted, and that's going to start now from January next year and run for 5 years. And there was a massive amount, and it was a massive challenge to get a good balanced one. And I think, in terms of the way it ended up, it was particularly, I wanted to make sure that all parts of the country, particularly, counties like Donegal, which wouldn't always have got a fair deal in the past, got a fair deal. And I think in relation to many of the decisions that were made there, it's going to be very positive for our own county in relation to most people will see increases in their basic payments, and also, in relation to many of the schemes, the new beef scheme, for example, will see an increase from €90 a head for the first 10 animals up to €150 a head. With 50% extra in the new acres scheme, the new environmental scheme, which is going to see, a few thousand people in our county take up and be involved in that, and also across the other schemes. So it's about implementing those now effectively and ensuring that the potential for those schemes to deliver for Donegal, but also for the rest of the country, is followed through on. The big issue then obviously is the climate challenge as well, and we've now set our targets, 25% for agriculture by 2030, and that's the lowest of any sector in the economy, and that's representative of our, the capacity of the sector to deliver, and every sector is going to stretch. So it's about how we do that now. But the main thing for farming in the time ahead is going to continue to be what has always been its role, which is food production. That's to be the centre. But in how we produce that food now is going to be about ensuring that we do it with less emissions, and also doing it in a way that actually reinvigorates our natural.
How do we do that? How are you going to achieve that, Charlie?
Yeah, well, some of the schemes, for example, that are in the new Common Agricultural Policy will be important in doing that. And we're already on the journey of doing that. So farmers are reducing their fertilizer usage, for example. They're using new multi-species swards, which can be just as productive, but not use fertilizer. Also the tools that are available to us now in relation to measuring soil fertility and maximising.
That's not going to get us there, though. We're really going to have to see a dramatic reduction in the suckler herd, aren't we?
No, we're not. No, and what's going to be needed actually is going to be continuing to produce food, and particularly the suckler herd is something that's the anchor of our beef sector, and something a part of our farming sector that I'm massively committed to, and that's showing through in the schemes, the new higher schemes that will be there from next January. But what we do need to do is become more efficient. There's lots we can do in relation to breeding, in relation to earlier age of slaughter, and in relation to genetics, which will make a difference. There's also new technology coming on board, which we have to maximise the capacity to deliver. So, for example, there's new feed additives, which have only come on the last 18 months or so, but which show that you can reduce the methane output of an individual animal by over a third. So there's measures like that which can make a real difference. But it's going to be a journey of change, and in 10 years' time, agriculture will be done differently in lots of ways to what it is now, but it'll still be producing the food that it is now, but it'll be doing so with less emissions.
And in 10 years, do you think there will be the same amount of people in farming as there is now? I mean, obviously there's going to be changes, but do you know what I mean, for the purpose of the question? Like, do you think that farmers who are farming now, if they so wish, and if they are prepared to meet the changes and challenges that we all probably will have to over the next 10 years, that they will still be farmers in 10 years, that it will still be a enjoyable, profitable, or break-evenable industry to be involved in?
Yes, I do. And listen, over my generation, from when I grew up, I've seen a big change in agriculture in relation to when I grew up on a suckler and sheep farm in Carramore, just outside Glenealy. We were reared on it, and most of the families around us were reared from the farm as well. Back through the 80s into the 90s, and a lot of us were educated through that as well. But over that last generation, we've seen the value and the income that's there from agriculture diminish compared to what has been available outside of agriculture. And that's led to incomes not comparing as well to what else is available. So, and I mean, when I was growing up as well, there wasn't the same opportunities in the wider economy. And it's good to see that there's so many opportunities there now alongside that. But we also saw the value of food reduce over that generation, which has led to a reduction in income. Because, of course, the income that Irish farmers get, the schemes, for example, I've been introducing and have been there always, are important income. But the other piece that addresses that is prices. And we export 90% of the food we produce, so international prices decide what's available. But I think food is going to become more scarce over the next generation, and the demand for it is going to be increased, and it's therefore going to become more valuable. And the other thing that's going to be significant in the years ahead as well is the opportunity for farmers to contribute in relation to energy production, in relation to solar energy, in relation to anaerobic digestion. And for example, our climate targets in 2030 outline how we're going to produce 10% of our national gas requirement coming from our farms through anaerobic digestion, 10% of our total national requirement. And then also then the potential is there in terms of ecosystem services alongside the production of food and the income capacity that's there for that. So I see real opportunities. I think it's an exciting time while it's a challenging time. And I think, the role of the family farm is going to become strengthened over the next generation compared in a reversal, I believe, of what happened over the last generation.
What do you hope to deliver for fishers over the next 2 years? Because a lot of people feel that maybe you're just overseeing the decimation or the sunset period of the Irish fishing industry in real terms.
And certainly that narrative can be out there, and it's an easy one to perpetuate, but it's the absolute opposite of my objective and what I've been working to do. So obviously we know the big challenge that's been there over the last 2 years coming out of Brexit, where our national quota was impacted, but and we fought hard to try and avoid that, but there was an impact. And what I've worked with, hand in hand with all of the fishers representatives on over the last 2 years is how we address that by trying to seek more quota at European level. I spent this day last week. I was full day in Europe, and the day before full day last Sunday in Europe as well, negotiating our quotas for next year, trying to improve our quota situation. And on a good point for our inshore and for smaller boats around Donegal, have secured the reopening, for example, for the first time in 13 years of a spur dog fishery, which is something wasn't probably the number one priority, I'd say, for the inshore sector, and we've thankfully making progress in that. But working closely with fisher representatives in relation to trying to address and improve our quota situation at European level, but then to invest in the sector very heavily nationally. So I know we spoke a couple of weeks ago in terms of the 26 million that's going into piers and harbours around Donegal, as well as, and that's on top of 20 million which was spent last year in Killybegs in 2022 in developing a new pier and harbour there. But also then in relation to maximising the value of the fish we catch. There's no doubt it's a really frustrating, unlike others, fishing is probably one of the few sectors of the economy where what your capacity to do something is capped, because the quotas that we have been set at the rate and the percentages that they were in the early 80s, and it hasn't changed since that. But our capacity of our fleet to catch more is in a totally different level from what it was in the early 80s. Like, a few boats now can catch what all our boats were catching in the 80s. So that's a really, really frustrating position to be in. But there is a really strong, sustainable future for the fishing sector, and in every step I'm taking is about trying to build that and work with the fishing sector to build on that, both through investment but also trying to improve our situation with regard to quota. But there's no doubt that it's a frustrating sphere for everyone involved because of the limits that are on us.
All right. Finally, just a word. We spoke extensively, and you also did in the Dáil about the situation with defective concrete. The council said before at the end of last week, that they, I don't want to misquote them, effectively modular homes weren't on the horizon. They didn't have the ability to sort of provide them. What's the situation? Where do you believe that they are required? And if so, who's going to fund them? How are they going to be provided?
Yes, I do. I believe they have an important role to play, but the mic issue is the number one issue for me as Minister. It has been over the last 2 years, and working in Cabinet, it will be absolutely the number one issue for myself over the time ahead. Obviously, I've worked hard to bring investment into the county across a range of spheres, but all of that investment pales in terms of the significance of this issue for families and across the county, and indeed the scale of what's involved. There has been real progress made over this year. I know it has been massively frustrating to me, the pace of it. That has been even more frustrating for all of the homeowners who are waiting to get their homes fixed. we are now in a situation where we've about 20 homes fixed in the county. There's about 40 under construction. And thankfully, in the last 6 weeks, we're seeing, after significant delays, applications being once again processed and approved through the county council, and that to move the housing agency getting up and running as well. So the key objective there now is making that work and delivering on it, and so that over the course of the year ahead, we see homeowners get their applications approved, and we see more and more houses getting fixed, and we see that operating and starting to work effectively and efficiently. But it has been really, really frustrating for everybody involved. But there is one.
Right, so where are people going to stay, though? As I say, there's a lot going on here. But in terms of the provision of modular homes, will the council say they can't provide them? They don't have the capacity to build modular homes for private homeowners who are affected by defective concrete. So are you calling on the government to do so? Do you see that as a solution? Not everyone does see it as a solution, by the way, but where do you stand?
No, I think it needs to be done. It's something I've been meeting with the county council management along with our team of councillors consistently over the last number of months, every month or so, to keep progress moving, and also working with the minister. It was welcome, but too late, later than what it should have happened in relation to the approval last week for the release of emergency funding for a number of homeowners who absolutely shouldn't be in the homes that they're in. But there is and I've been adamant with the minister, as I said to you before, that there is a role for modular housing here, that it should be delivered. The minister has asked the county council to come back to him with proposals in relation to how modular housing could play a role and how it could be delivered. I know the county council at their meeting last week discussed that. There may be more engagement needed now between the council and the department as to how that should be delivered.
Because John McLaughlin said the council don't have the space, role, or the function to house people in alternative accommodation. So, I mean, if that's who the housing minister is consulting, we're a bit in an impasse here, aren't we?
There needs to be more and prompt engagement here now between the council and the department, as I say.
Are you happy with the council's attitude and role in all of this? Do you think there's something that maybe needs to be called out here, that they at a lot of turnarounds they're going, well, what can we do? And we've seen it too.
The council have a massive burden on them in relation to the work that's involved, and this is a monster of a problem for every family that's affected, and it's a monster of a problem in terms of actually dealing with it from the council's point of view and from the government's point of view, given how big a challenge it is. And the council have worked really hard to step up and help address it. But following my engagement with the minister and then the engagement between the councillors and the minister there recently, the minister asked the council for a plan and a proposal. So there needs to be more engagement now to step that out.
Okay, but they literally said, like John McLaughlin said last week,
that we want to do it. Right. It's a matter of making sure it happens.
Well, they seem to say they don't have the capacity or the ability to do it. But anyway, listen, again, congratulations. We'll chat again into the future. Thanks for your time this morning. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Greg. And just to wish, it's the first day of Christmas week. So we're running in now, thankfully, to Christmas this Sunday. Just to wish you and all the team there at Highland well for Christmas. I hope you get a good break, and to wish everyone across the county well over Christmas too. It's an important time to spend time with family and friends. It's the one time of year, thankfully, where things go much quieter in most walks of life. We'll be thinking of those who have to work through it and who look after our core needs. We'll also be thinking the many families who have lost people over the year ahead and whom it's a difficult time, and indeed a difficult time we've had for the county in relation to families in Creaslough, and also the Rooney family this Christmas too. But it's important to value what we have. And just wish you and everyone across the county well this Christmas week and for Christmas Day and the Christmas season and the year ahead. Yeah. Thanks, Greg.
For you and your family as well. Thank you very much indeed, Minister Charlie McConalogue.
The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union, offering low-rate car loans with fast approval. Apply online at letterkennycu.ie or in office today.
This Christmas, give the people you love gifts that keep on giving from Vodafone. With up to €200 off new smartphones they'll love. Plus, they'll get a January bonus of an average of €130 back if they trade in their used smartphone. See Vodafone.ie or pop in store. Vodafone. Together we can.
New customers only. Subject to availability, eligibility and annual price increase of CPI plus 3%. Average €130 trade-in value based on August to October 2022. See Vodafone.ie/terms.
Show your appreciation for Donegal business this Christmas with Buy Donegal. Visit buydonegal.com to see a host of participating businesses to start your shopping list. With a range of special offers and prize giveaways throughout, Buy Donegal has something for everyone. Buy Donegal takes place from November 11th to December 24th. For more, visit buydonegal.com. Ho, ho, ho!
Pet Value Bell Buffet in Buncrana have a fantastic range of Christmas stockings, toys, treats and leads, with 40% off selected pet beds while stocks last. We have a wide range of animals and birds in both stores. Pick up the perfect gift for you or your pets this Christmas at Pet Value. Open 7 days.
Well, hello there. How are you today? Remember seeing that nice car on the road and thinking, I might start looking at changing my car? Well, this is your sign. Go check out imotors.ie and we are sure to have the car for you. We stock all types of cars, family cars, luxury cars, or your first car. iMotors, trusted for generations. Call in today or check out our website.
With something for everyone, the Villa Rose Hotel, Jackson's Hotel and Anchorage Hotel have Christmas all wrapped up. Our gift vouchers will impress, whether for sumptuous dining or Sunday lunch, a luxurious spa day or hotel break, perhaps even a health club membership. Take the hassle out of shopping and give the gift of choice at the click of a button with an online voucher from villarose.ie, jacksonshotel.ie or anchoragehotel.com.
Whatever the weather, Christmas shopping in Letterkenny will brighten your December. The Highland Weather Forecast, brought to you by Shop LK. See shoplk.ie or like us on Facebook.
Live, on air, online and on the Highland Radio app. This is Highland Radio News.
Good morning, it's 10 o'clock. Donald Kavanagh at the Highland Radio News Desk. The family of Private Sean Rooney have been reunited with the body of the young soldier killed in Lebanon last week. His body arrived on an Air Corps flight into Baldonnel Aerodrome this morning. Eamon Torsney was there.
Sean Rooney's mother, her partner, the young soldier's fiancé, his grandfather and 3 of his uncles, who are serving members of the Defence Forces, were there to meet the coffin, carrying his body when it arrived back on Irish soil at 8:30 this morning. His remains were accompanied on the flight from Beirut by a number of his colleagues from the 121st Infantry Battalion, including his company commander, who never left Private Rooney's side. On landing, the coffin was brought to a hangar where his family were afforded private time with his body before a short prayer service. His body was then taken with a Garda escort to the City Morgue in Dublin, where a post-mortem will be carried out by the state pathologist. That will form part of the Defence Forces investigation into his killing. Separate inquiries are also being carried out by the UN and Lebanese authorities.
The new government is beginning its first full week in office after Taoiseach Leo Varadkar replaced Micheál Martin over the weekend. While a number of ministers changed department, there was no change to the senior ministerial lineup. Minister Charlie McConalogue remains in his current department. He says he's relieved that he is staying where he is.
Delighted and relieved to be appointed again as Minister for Agriculture and the Marine. You never ever know in politics what is going to happen, and obviously I worked hard over the last couple of years in the role, serving the farming sector and the fisheries sector, but also worked hard in relation to our own county and bringing investment into the county.
Minister Charlie McConalogue there speaking to Greg on this morning's 9 till noon show. It's reported that plans to construct a footbridge between Lifford and Strabane may be delayed because of planning issues on the side of Donegal County Council. A report in yesterday's Sunday Independent claims the footbridge, part of the €9 million riverine project, has hit a planning roadblock because the council cannot obtain a foreshore licence to carry out the works. Every sector will have to play its part in reducing its carbon emissions. According to the Environment Minister, plans will go before Cabinet this week, proposing the national herd be cut by up to 10% by 2030. In the same time frame, it's intended to reduce the number of cars on the road by 20%. Environment Minister Eamon Ryan admits this will be the most challenging target to hit.
One, again, where we don't have a choice. We do have to cut our emissions, and also just going the way we were going, which is kind of a car-dependent model, doesn't work for anyone, because when everyone's driving, it means everyone's stuck in traffic. If we can switch to the public transport and active travel, it actually works better for everyone.
Met Éireann says it's unlikely we'll see a white Christmas, but there may be some flurries in Donegal in the days after December 25th. A tropical airflow has caused temperatures to rise significantly today. Following last week's cold snap, temperatures are due to fall back to average values again this week. Met-Éireann meteorologist Michelle Dillon says they're not sure about Sunday's weather for Christmas Day, but it doesn't look like it will snow.
Some uncertainty in over Christmas, but at the moment it looks like staying on the more average temperatures, some wet and some windy weather. So at the moment it doesn't look like it, but some uncertainty in that. And as I said, there could be a chance of a few wintry flurries straight after Christmas, maybe into St. Stephen's Day, especially in northern parts.
And looking at the weather forecast, it'll be windy today with fresh to strong, gusty southerly winds, cloudy with outbreaks of showery rain during the morning, heavy at times with risk of some spot flooding in places. Top temperatures today, 9 to 11 degrees Celsius in the early afternoon. Cooler, drier and brighter conditions will follow from the southwest. And that's Highland Radio News. We're back with news again at 11 o'clock. Until then, from the news team, good morning. The obituary notices for this Monday morning, the 19th of December. The death has taken place of Dennis McLaughlin, Clockban, Downings. Removal from Eternal Light Chapel of Rest, Mountain Top, Letterkenny, this afternoon at 3:30, going to his late residence. Funeral arrangements will be confirmed later. The death has occurred of Barry Carney, Churchtown, Carndonagh. His remains are reposing at his family home, with removal from there at 10:15 tomorrow morning for 11 o'clock Requiem Mass in the Church of the Sacred Heart, Carndonagh, followed by burial in the adjoining cemetery. Family time only, please, from 10 p.m. to 12 p.m. The funeral mass can be viewed online at churchmedia.tv. The death has occurred of Brendan McNulty, Donegal Street, Ballybofey. Remains reposing at his late residence. Funeral from there tomorrow morning at 20 to 11 for Requiem Mass at 11 o'clock in the Church of Mary Immaculate, Stranora, with interment afterwards in Drumbo Cemetery. Requiem Mass will be streamed live via churchservices.tv. Donations in lieu of flowers, if desired, to the Friends of Letterkenny University Hospital, care of any family member. Family time, please, from 9:30 tonight and before the funeral tomorrow. The death has occurred of Patrick Joseph Diver, Roxtown, Clonmany. His remains will leave Eternal Light Chapel of Rest, Mountain Top, Letterkenny, this afternoon at 1 o'clock, going to his late residence. Funeral from there at 10:30 on Wednesday morning to St Michael's Church, Urris, for 11 o'clock Requiem Mass, followed by burial in the adjoining cemetery. Patrick's funeral mass can be viewed live on churchservices.tv. The death has occurred of Rose McLaughlin, née Gordon, Figart, Isle of Doe, Clonmany. Her remains are reposing at her late residence. Funeral from there tomorrow morning at 10:20 to St Mary's Church, Clonmany, for 11 o'clock Requiem Mass, followed by interment in the adjoining cemetery. Family flowers only, please. Donations in lieu if desired to the Donegal Hospice, care of any family member, or McFeely's Funeral Directors. Rose's funeral mass can be viewed on churchservices.tv. The death has taken place of Bobby Porter, Rossgear, Lifford. Funeral from his home this afternoon at 1:25 for Requiem Mass in St Patrick's Church, Murlock, at 2 o'clock. Interment afterwards in the adjoining cemetery. Donations in lieu of flowers, please, to the Donegal Hospice, care of Quigley Funeral Directors. Requiem Mass can be viewed live on clonleyparish.com. The death has occurred of Mary Grimes, Allingham Avenue, The Mall, Ballyshannon. Her remains are reposing at John McGee and Sons Funeral Home, Balleek Road, Ballyshannon, with removal from there this morning at 10:30 to St Patrick's Church, Ballyshannon, for 11 o'clock funeral mass, with burial afterwards in the Abbey Cemetery. Family flowers only, please. Donations in lieu if desired to the Alzheimer's Society of Ireland, care of John McGee and Sons Funeral Directors, or any family member. Mary's funeral mass can be viewed live on churchservices.tv. The death has taken place of Teresa Curran, Newtownards, County Down, formerly of 64, Ard O'Donnell, Letterkenny. Funeral from 64 Ard O'Donnell this morning at 10:30, travelling over Lower Ard O'Donnell to St Eunan's Cathedral, Letterkenny, for 11 o'clock Requiem Mass, which can be viewed live on churchservices.tv. Interment afterwards in Conwell Cemetery. Family fires only pleas, donations in lieu if desired, to the Donegal Hospice, care of any family member. And the death has taken place of Vivian McDade, née Lynch, Boston, Massachusetts, formerly of Umricum, Buncrana. Funeral this morning with 11 o'clock, Requiem Mass in Cockhill Chapel, followed by burial in the adjoining cemetery. Family flowers only please, donations in lieu if desired, to the Donegal Cancer Bus, care of any family member. Mass can be viewed live on churchservices.tv. For more details, including any family health guidelines for wakes and funerals, please go to highlandradio.com.
Watch the show live now on YouTube, Facebook and at highlandradio.com.
Okay, you're very welcome back to the programme. Now, we are going to get to some of your comments now at the moment. Just to tell you a little thing that we're working on. Mentioned to Minister McConnell there about, he referenced the grants, that €15,000 emergency accommodation grant, which was approved for some people. But there are question marks over, and hard to believe this is not clear, there are question marks over whether or not that may end up coming out of the overall allocation that someone might receive if they ever actually are on the scheme and get approval and all that type of stuff. It really is not very, very clear, and I was running through some of the documents. It's really not very clear whether or not the €15,000 for accommodation or the 5,000 for emergency works then comes out of the grant total at the end of the day, because of course that actually reduces its percentage of the overall cost, doesn't it? Especially if someone's in accommodation longer than maybe the 15,000 would cover, depending on how things move. It is not actually clear yet, but my understanding is that some people filling out those forms, it's being indicated that this money comes out of their overall grant allocation. But it's not very clear in the legislation that I was looking through what the situation is there. So we are going to try and get some absolute certainty on that. It's a small group of people affected, but that number might grow. So good to get that on the record and get some clarity. So we're working on that, by the way. A caller says food will be scarce because of these ridiculous green policies they're pushing. Will the people of Donegal and Ireland please wake up to what's happening before these people get their way? Traitors. But wake up to what? What are you saying we need to wake up to? What about our fisheries? Every other country can make more of our fish, catch more of our fish than we can. It's insane. And successive governments have failed our fisheries and will now destroy farming, will reduce our output and import beef from Brazil at a greater cost to the environment. That comes in from Martin. Get him off, Greg. He's just a government lackey. He isn't for Donegal. He wants to coal farm animals when they know it'll take 200 years to get to net zero. We need out of Europe and we need government out. Well, I mean, out of Europe, I'm not sure that experiment that Britain entered into is doing them much good. In fact, it's doing them terrible, if the truth be told. They'll be back in Europe before too long. Could you give us an update on the Micah families living in uninhabitable homes, hoped rehomed for Christmas? Well, I put that to the Minister as well. Who does Charlie and his cohort think they are? They need to remember they work for the people, not for Europe. All we have is weak men in government, all yes men. Election needed ASAP, they say. How will there still be farmers, Greg, when they're paying the farmers to do nothing? And with the land only turn it into marsh. Greg, this fake division between Fine Gael and Fianna Fáil reminds me of the fake gender war in the media. Loads to talk about, but in reality, they are both Tory parties, and the vast majority of women and men get on as different decent human beings, says that listener there. It's pathetic how Fianna Fáil have defended Varadkar's actions on leaking of confidential documents. Imagine their reaction had they been in opposition. They will do anything for power, need a change of government. Great to see Leo as Taoiseach. What wonderful news for Donegal, giving his strong connections and affections for the county. Having spent a few weeks as a locum during his early medical career, I'm sure the Micah mayhem will be done and dusted by Christmas. I sense a bit of... no, maybe not, but I sense a little bit of irony in there, or sarcasm. How did Simon Harris end up with two ministerial posts? One's temporary, isn't it? That's the Justice Ministry. Someone had two before. You could argue that they move them around. It doesn't really make any difference, really, because are they really making the decisions? Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael are doing their best to keep Sinn Féin out. I'm not a Sinn Féin supporter, but this is not about serving the people at all. Hi, Greg. Always remember crime figures are significantly lower due to the fact that people don't report crime. Sexual crime being the worst of the reported, and worst again when you think of the prosecution rate. Such a terrible world we live in. All right, thank you. Keep them all coming into us, 086 60 25,000. We really appreciate all your contacts, WhatsApps and texts to that number. We're going to take a break for the bingo numbers. But before we do... the mega card draw is going to be all done and dusted on Friday. It's all very exciting, actually. I find it exciting that just that people get stuff at Christmas. On Friday, across 3 shows, the Naughty Alarm Clock, Around the Northwest and Jive Time, €1,000 in cash will be given away to 3 listeners, available for you to spend on Christmas Eve if you wish. And also on this show, we're going to give away a €30,000 car. And it's all part of our biggest ever car draw. And just to give you an opportunity to enter it if you wish, this is the last week and you're in the hat for all 4 prizes if you enter. Go onto our website, highlandradio.com. You'll see the car logo there. Click in, buy your tickets. You can buy 1 ticket for a tenner. You can get 6 for 50, 10 for 80. And if you want to gift them, you can individually list them for people as well, by the way, and email them or screenshot it and send it to them, or whichever way you want to do it. So on Friday, 4 big prizes, 3 €1,000 and also a car to give away. It'll all happen next Friday as part of a fantastic day of fun we have here at Highland Radio. Go onto our website or give us a call, 07491 25,000. We'll hook you up with a ticket if you so wish. Now, also, it's an open day on Friday, by the way, so come up and say hello to us from 10 o'clock, I believe it is. Santa's going to be here as well. He's very busy, obviously, in the run-up to Christmas, but we've managed to secure him for a couple of hours. He will be here. I think he's going to be stationed on the outside broadcast unit, and your young ones can go up inside it and say hello. I think it's exciting in and of itself to get up into the wee outside broadcast unit, and in there will be Santa. And mums and dads, granny and granddads, whoever takes the young ones with them, or if you don't have young ones, by the way, come in, call in for a cup of tea or coffee and have a look around at what we're doing, and you'll be able to see us as we broadcast as well if you've ever been curious as to how it's all done and what goes on. All right, okay, so last thing, just before the bingo numbers, we're playing Say What again today. On Friday, we've got 20 bags of coal to give away. There's a missing word here. You just have to listen out. And this is not so long ago, by the way, because I wanted to make it fun, but one that you may have heard. It's not so long ago. Here's Lee Gooch. What's the missing word?
Megan, you can take it away. 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3.
All right, a 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3. Beep. What's the missing word? Text your answer, name and address to 086 60 25,000 or WhatsApp it and you'll be put in the draw. We'll have a ticket for the car draw to give away to the daily winner today, and then one of you will win 20 bags of coal on Friday. All right, good luck if you're playing the bingo.
It's time for NCBI Bingo on Highland Radio.
It's Monday the 19th of December. You're playing on the green sheet. The reference number is S11. It's game number 51. The numbers are 25, 34, 73, 6, 77, 7, 2, 30, 63, and finally 58. Phone your claim to 910483 before 8 tonight, leaving your name, contact number and the name of the shop where you purchased your book, and we'll call you back the next working day. Get all your NCBI bingo information at highlandradio.com.
The 9 till noon show with Letterkenny Credit Union, now offering mortgages with life cover provided at no additional cost. Letterkenny Credit Union, 9102127.
Do you want to take time to spend enjoying the stunning Donegal outdoors to the next level? Wet n Wild is #1 for quality and stock all the leading brands of outdoor clothing, footwear and equipment to keep you warm, safe and dry whatever the weather. Remember, a quality Christmas gift from Wet n Wild will be the cheapest in the long run.
There's big savings on big names for Christmas at McGee's Chemist Letterkenny, like Nivea sets from just $3.95, Technic cosmetic sets from $4.95, Dove and Link sets also from $4.95, and there's great fragrance gift sets from all the big names at great prices. Treat a loved one this Christmas at McGee's Chemist, Main Street, Letterkenny, or online at mcgees.ie. McGee's, with the best, costs less.
Have you taken out a commercial lease on a property such as a business property, shop unit, factory or agricultural land? Have you registered details of that commercial lease with the Property Services Regulatory Authority, the PSRA? If not, you may be breaking the law. Tenants of commercial leases are legally required to register the lease with the PSRA within 30 days of receipt of the related stamp certificate from the Revenue Commissioners. It's an offence not to. Remember, register details of your commercial lease online now at psr.ie.
Watson Menswear in Letterkenny have a gift to suit this Christmas. Casual shirts and polo shirts, knitwear, jeans and so much more. Top names like Superdry, Penguin and Mishmash. Open every day to Christmas, Sundays 1 to 6 and late every Thursday and Friday. A deposit will secure any item, and if you're unsure, a gift voucher always makes a great present. Watson Menswear on Main Street, Letterkenny, and online at watsonmenswear.com.
Bill Kenwright presents Wooly Russell's multi-award-winning musical Blood Brothers at the Millennium Forum from Tuesday 31st of January to Saturday 4th of February. Rebecca Storm stars in the internationally acclaimed musical featuring unforgettable hit songs including Marilyn Monroe and Tell Me It's Not True. Book now at millenniumforum.co.uk or call 04871 264455.
Okay, you heard us talking to Lee Gooch a little earlier on today because he's affected by this also. Irish Water have accepted or acknowledged that there are a number of customers affected by reservoir interruption that may affect supply to Old Town, Creesmith, Bonamy, Conwall, Foxhall, Letterkenny and surrounds. We have been chasing Irish Water up on this because we started getting complaints about it, of course, over the weekend. And that's how long it's been affecting people. Tilly joins us now. Tilly, what's the situation with your son?
It's in Glenmacquon, Craig. And there's no water there since Friday afternoon. And he has 4 children, had to go to school this morning and shared. They had to come to me yesterday evening for sure. And it's just unacceptable at this time of the year. To tell you that Lost Salt was down. Where is this water going?
And no, very little information. And I mean, listen, we accept that there's going to be disruptions to water supply, same as broadband or electricity. But this has been ongoing now, and very little information available, it seems. They say it's going to be on soon, but still, we await.
Well, I have to thank Councillor Jimmy Kavanagh. I was on to him this morning there, and Jimmy got back to me, and he had contacted Irish Water, and they said they thought about 2 o'clock this afternoon the pressure would be built up again. The problem with Glenmacquon, you see, is it's that high that you need pumps to put it up there, and there have to be a high pressure before the pumps will kick in,
Yeah.
So you can be left. You can be left as long as a day extra from everybody else, before you get water.
I get you. Well, they say, Irish Water are saying that work will be completed by 10 a.m. So if they're true to their word, that work has been completed. So now we're awaiting pressure to build. Is that what you're saying, Tilly?
Yes. Okay. Now, when we put on the Glenmacquon scheme, Grip Water, that's a private scheme, When we put that on, we met with a scheme from the Poland. We're coming from Lost Salt, but we met with a scheme from the Poland Dam and agreed that we could have a connection to the Poland Dam that we could plug into, if we were ever stuck. That connection is at a place called Lafferty. You probably never heard of it. But the council tarred the road there, and they tarred over the connection, and the promoter, Alfie McKnight, went up there yesterday, but he couldn't get it. And that's another problem we're having on Glenmacon. The road gets tarred and the fire hydrants and all are tarred over. It's another day's work that has to be locked.
Yeah, that's some crack if it's true. We'll have to check into that, Tilly. Okay, listen, thanks for your time this morning. It's a terrible inconvenience for your son there, and I appreciate your time this morning. Helena, you're also affected by this at a terrible time of the year. Any time's terrible, but particularly this weekend, Helena.
Yes, morning, Greg. Thank you. We're living in Tullygay, New Mills, there outside Letterkenny, so no water whatsoever since Friday night. And like you say, these things do happen. Burst pipes happen and leaks happen. But we, as a community of neighbours, have been in touch with each other via WhatsApp, and none of us can get any information from Irish Water, or could over the weekend. We tried numerous times to call them, and you're on hold for ages, and eventually you get cut off. So this information that you seem to have this morning, that the works were to be completed by 10, we can't get any of that information. All weekend we've been pulling our hair out.
See, the problem is, Helena, the problem is they post it on Twitter. Right? Very few people in this country use Twitter. Now, the few people that messaged me over the weekend on Facebook, I messaged them back. Yesterday, let me just see, they first referenced it a couple of days ago. I'm trying to scroll back here to see what they had to say. But a couple of days ago, they said a reservoir interruption may affect supply in the areas we've mentioned. And they said it should be until 7 p.m. Okay. Firstly it was supposed to be 7 a.m. And then 7 p.m. at night, and now it's 10 a.m. this morning. But that information needs to be gotten to people in a more useful way, a text alert or something, doesn't it? Because, you know, who's on Twitter?
Absolutely.
And you're all pulling your hair out. You know.
Yeah, I mean, Twitter, fine. I wasn't aware of that. But I have neighbours, you know, they're in their 70s. They're not on Twitter and they're not on Facebook. There needs to be some efficient form of communication to customers when you're going to have 3 days of complete outage. You know, not even a trickle of water coming out of the cold tap. I've just arrived here in Letterkenny at my parents' house to fill up 10 litres, all the water bottles I could find in the house, to bring it out to the house. I have 3 children. I'm not in as dire a situation as poor Tilly there with, you know, as you say, with her son, but it's such a basic commodity. Yeah. And it's the lack of information, the lack of, over the weekend, just very, very frustrating situation to be in. And it's not good enough. You know, we as taxpayers are funding Irish Water. It's just not good enough. And you hear it on your show all the time if it's not in a show and it's somewhere in the Rosters. And, you know, now we have it in Glensfilly and Letterkenny. And I've heard this morning that Knockbrack have no water either. So the reservoir drained, or the reservoir was empty. Why was the reservoir empty? What happened? And why can we not get clear information and clear updates as to when it's going to be rectified?
There is also, again, the water's just coming on in Lismonaghan, by the way. I can give you that update, but I wouldn't go near it for a while yet because it's mank, it's dark brown. Map Alerter is another service that the council have as well, and the updates are issued on it. You can sign up to it and get texts. You can download the Map Alert. I shouldn't be doing this with you on air to sort of... I'm not calling you out. I hope you know that, Helena. But I'm just saying they'll say this. They'll say, well, listen, we update on Twitter and you can sign up to the Map Alerter. But look at... I'm not going to sign up to the Map Alerter on the off chance my water will go out in 4 months. That's not how we really work, you know. But that's what they will say. But anyway, it's coming back on at the moment, so we'll see. And we'll try and get some answers as well, a way they can communicate with people, I think.
Yeah, because they've got a website, and we've been logging onto the website all weekend. But when you put in your air code, it says there are no alerts for your area. So we've all done that.
A waste of time. Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah.
So I'd register with Map Alert or follow them on Twitter if it's still around in a week. But it's incredibly frustrating, and we'll all accept half a day or a couple of hours. We have to, even maybe a day, but a full weekend with very little information is not good enough. All right, Helena, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Greg.
Take care of yourself. Thank you very much indeed. Linda, you're in the exact same, similar boat, aren't we? What's your situation, Linda? What's your...
Hi, Greg. How are you?
Good, thank you.
Well, the water, we're off all weekend, what I'm thinking on is the hygiene side of things as well. The elderly up in Glenmacon there, and there's no carers. Carers can't come in. They can't shower them. They don't have water. It's a disgrace. I have children myself, and trying to get them out to school in the morning, this morning, was awful. There's no water to flush a toilet. The water was pure brown yesterday. Pure brown. You couldn't even drink it. I'm actually in Letterkenny now to buy water.
Yeah,
So
and that's fine.
because of that
That's
situation.
fine for the kettle, but that, as you say, in terms of showering, flushing toilets, washing hands, which is really important, of course, at the moment
Yeah,
with all the
washing
little...
hands.
Yeah.
And the way the thing is, with that many flus going about now at the minute, there is no hygiene. When you're out of water, there's no hygiene. You need the water.
Yeah,
the
for sure.
farmers up in Limacon area their cattle are crying out for water. They're in sheds being fed at the minute, and they are crying out for water. The farmers are out trying to supply, out to get water out in the rivers maybe even, just to bring water into them. That's not bad.
Yeah, all right. Okay, you got everyone away in the end, Linda, did you?
Hey,
You got all
I
the
want everybody
you
away,
did, fair
but
play.
I'm actually... It's just awful.
I know. Of course it is.
So it
Of
is.
course. It's
And
I've
the fact that
been
I
there.
didn't even know that the water was being turned off.
Yeah, I get you. The lack of communication. We're going to have to come up with some other system. All right, Linda, thanks for your time. Jared, good morning to you.
How's it going, Greg? How's the farm?
Not too bad. Ron in Letterkenny, no water. The reservoirs run dry. So is water pumped from Loch Salt to a reservoir? Is that how it works?
Yeah, it's a holding chamber, Greg. But the thing about it's funny, I hear the banging there in the attic there, and I think the water's just after coming on there, right? But even yesterday, it only came on for a bit an hour and then failed again. The water has normal storage facilities in general. What you'd have would be remote watching, which is basically your level indicators. My point was originally, why did they allow this to run low? Was the indicators not monitored? Was nobody monitoring the system? Does it not send a signal for low level? This is standard, basic, everyday stuff. Like, it shouldn't happen,
You're making a really good point here. This is important, Jared, isn't it? So you have the reservoir. It didn't go from its normal level to empty in a matter of minutes. There should have been an indicator that something was happening that would allow them to start looking at why is water not then being delivered from Loch Salt to this reservoir. You're saying if there are early warning signs, they weren't listened to, or they failed, or what, Jared?
Yeah, well, any tank nowadays, in this day and age, right, over the years, they've installed low-level indicators to set off alarms, either remotely or manually and within buildings. And it's everywhere. It's standard procedure.
Yes.
So, my point is, somebody's not doing their job, either monitoring the systems. This is so basic. It's like you filling your car. Your petrol, low-level light comes on your car, right? You go and get petrol, you top it up. These alarms are basically a high level and a low level. Anywhere in between is fine for running or servicing all the houses or all the farms, whatever's needed around Letterkenny. So my point is the lack. I hear the girls saying they never bothered putting any notice or any description up on their site, which everybody was on to find out more about, which never happened. I spent 40 minutes this morning at 8 o'clock, and the boy had no answers for me, as I was telling Caroline this morning. Absolutely didn't want to know. Oh, listen, if you're still in bother, call back in the evening. But the thing about it, that girl explained, there are people that, not so much me, my kids are big men now, but I have neighbours here with 5 young kids, under a certain age, going to an ISA school. So they had no water all weekend. We had none either. Everybody else has none. But there's nobody asking the hard questions.
Yeah, but the thing is,
so why is this allowed to go on?
I'm on water.ie right now, okay? And it says reservoir interruption Donegal. A reservoir interruption may cause intermittent supply disruptions to Old Town, Creesmith, Bonamy, Conwall, Foxhall, Letterkenny and surrounding areas. Works have now an estimated completion time of 10 a.m. on the 19th of December. We recommend that you allow 2 to 3 hours after the estimated restoration time for your supply to fully return. There's a reference number, D09 and so on and so forth. In fairness, I don't want to get shot here, but in fairness to Irish Water, that is on their website. That was updated on the 17th. Sorry, that was first posted on the 17th and then updated on the 18th, and now we're on the 19th. Could they be doing much more? Or? Huh?
No. See, the point is, I was on their site, and the girl said previously we put on our aircom address.
Air codes, yeah. I think that's the system that's not working, I think that's
well,
the thing.
You see, Craig, we accept that. See, that's wrong.
Yeah.
But you're saying that's wrong. We should not be accepting their system not working.
Yeah.
Then I got through to an operator, and he went, "Oh, they're not here."
Yeah, he's
well,
probably,
it's not my problem.
He's probably put in your air code. That system clearly is not working.
But that's what I'm telling you, Craig. You know, in this day and age.
No, Jared, I'm not at odds with you here. I'm fully agreeing with you. But we're trying. If they're not going to fix the problems themselves, I'm trying to sort of drill down into what the problem could be, so we're not in the same boat again later on in the week or something, or God forbid on Friday before Christmas. Now, I'm not disagreeing with you, but part of their system clearly isn't working because the information's on their website, but your air code's not linking to that information. And for that person that you were speaking to earlier, if he was actually searching it, maybe the air code's not linking to his system either.
Well, I think, you're right, Greg. The main problem is the lack of knowledge and the lack of communication to the general public. This is where Irish Water and all these associated companies fall down. Like, I have to say, this last few years, services to the Irish people have just deteriorated, and it's kind of, well, sure, what can you do? But them days are gone. Like, everybody's fed up, and I'm fair play to all the people who's on me already this morning. I only got bits and pieces of it, but what I tell you, everybody's getting tired of this bullshit. Like, this is a full weekend, and people have different needs in every household around here, and especially young kids, especially people with illnesses, like. All we need is a bit of clarity. Just let us know what's happening. All right, we don't all go to that site that you went to. We went to the actual one we're supposed to go to, which is Irish Water. We won't transfer it anywhere else. You know that kind of way. Mm-hmm. We need the knowledge just to keep it right.
Well, here's the Tullygate residents.
3 days is pushing it.
Yeah, the Tullygate residents have put together some bullet points as to the problems here. And as I say, I'm not in any way trying to... I'm trying to use a word that's not water-related, dilute or water down the situation. I'm not trying to be funny here, but I'm not trying to take away this, because they say, and the Tullygate residents have it right here, no pre-notice or warnings from Irish Water. That talks to your point about low-level warnings. When you ring Irish Water on their helpline, you cannot get through, holding for ages and eventually giving up. They go on to say, Irish Water website page states no water outage in the area when you put in your air code. Another problem we've both talked about here. No one to give you any information when the supply will be returned again. And another, works are to commence on the Ron Reservoir today, the 19th of December, but we have had no water since Saturday. So I think they've bullet pointed that quite well as well. Yeah, okay. Right,
yeah,
listen.
Listen.
All right, thanks for your insight, and you were heard.
No bother.
And we'll see. And you're saying you're hearing banging upstairs, which would indicate that the water is coming back.
Yeah, and I just bear with me a second. I'll let you know here. I'll just double check.
Go and check it live for us. Go on, we've our live reporter Jared on the scene here. Is it gurgling?
Yeah, give it a second here. So there you are, Greg. It's on now again. Right. For the moment, anyway.
Okay, for the moment.
But it's great to have it back. That's all we asked is to get the water back,
Okay, give it a while before you boil the kettle anyway. Listen, Jared, thanks for your time. All right, take care of yourself. I appreciate your technical insight there as well. Right, so the water coming back on live as we're speaking here, but still it doesn't talk to the serious problems that have been highlighted today in terms of information, pre-warning systems. That air code system seems to be banjaxed because, as I say, I'm not in any way trying to contradict anyone listening, but they have been posting the information, but people haven't been able to access the information. I search, when people inquire with me, hashtag IW Donegal on Twitter, go to the latest tweets, the information is there, you click a link and it brings you to a website, but the system is not working beyond that. So if you just search the website, search air code, there seems to be a serious problem with that system.
The 9 till noon show with Letterkenny Credit Union. Now offering MyCU current account and debit MasterCard. Bringing full banking features. Delivered with the same local trustworthy service of your credit union.
Hello, Dream Inspector. 50 grand. Got it. Wait, 10 winners of 50 grand each? Every Tuesday and Friday? So every Euro Millions draw till Christmas is guaranteed 10 Irish winners of 50 grand each?
10 Ireland-only raffle winners of €50,000 guaranteed in every Euro Millions draw till Christmas. The National Lottery. It could be you. Play responsibly. Play for fun. All Euro Millions Ireland-only raffle draws until December 23rd.
Can I get 2 specials, please? 1 sourdough and Caesar salad. And by the way, I'm 12 weeks pregnant.
Yes, Chef.
We don't always know who's at risk from COVID-19 and other viruses, but we do know how to protect them. Keep hands clean and wear a mask. Let fresh air in, get vaccinated, and stay at home if you are unwell. From the HSE. For us all.
For all your training needs, Northwest Forestry Services Training Department Ballybuffet offer a wide range of courses from training bodies such as NPTC City and Guilds, QQI, LADRA and ABA International. Courses include all land-based services such as chainsaw, tree climbing and rescue, pesticides, working in heights and ATV training. Other courses offered include first aid responder, manual handling and building safety, to name but a few. For a full list of training courses and availability, contact Northwest Forestry Services Ballybuffet on 074 9132033.
Hi, I'm Angela. Are you on a date that isn't working out? Is your online date not who they said they were? Does it all feel a bit weird? Do you feel like you're not in a safe situation?
Wherever you see the Ask for Angela signs or posters, know that the establishment supports the Ask for Angela campaign. The Ask for Angela campaign is supported by An Garda Síochána, the Joint Policing Committee, Donegal County Council and the Vintners and Hoteliers Association Donegal. Working together to keep people safe across Donegal. Mike Denver in concert with guests Brendan Shine and Philomena Begley at the Mount Erigal Hotel, Letterkenny on January 6th and Millennium Forum Derry on March 18th. Tickets now on sale at both venues and ticketmaster.ie. That's Mike Denver with Philomena Begley and Brendan Shine in Letterkenny and Derry. The perfect Christmas gift.
National Fuels Churchill. Delivering home heating oil in Letterkenny and surrounding areas. 9137 400. National Fuels. Bringing you the time at...
Okay, the time now is 10:41. You're very welcome back to the 9 till noon show here on Highland Radio, and thank you so much for all of your calls and comments coming in. We're going to be crossing over to Kevin and Anya very shortly. They're out and about. It's the Highland Hop for Christmas, where we've got going to different parts of the county over the course of the next week, and we're going to give you an opportunity to go up to our crew and register to be in with a chance to win a fantastic prize. Just noticed on my travels, a lot of people haven't upped their Christmas lights, etc. Just thinking, are they all rich people? Haven't them up? I don't know what the point you're making there. Text me back just to see what the story is. Good morning, Greg. Can someone from your show contact Irish Water on our community's behalf? We have done. That water is starting to come back on, but we're going to chase it up to make sure this can't happen again, that there's better communication and what have you. Just to let Greg know about water, this is Liscaran area between Drumkeen and Stranora. This is day 3 with no water. It comes on in the morning for 2 hours only. I'm at my wit's end as I keep animals and have to get water to them like most people in this area, except they have their own wells. No explanation, just cut off. Awful bad being hemmed in due to icy roads, and now no water. Okay, listen, that's another inquiry we'll make on your behalf. So I'm not sure what the story is with your heating either, by the way. If my water goes out, I'd be nervous about using the heating. I'm not sure if that's right or not, but it can affect that too for some of us. Greg, my neighbour, is in her 70s and has no water. She's afraid to light her fire because she's got a back boiler or put on her heating. Does anyone know if you can light a fire? It's very cold in the house. That would be just a good bit of advice, actually, to have, generally speaking. Hopefully for this lady, the water's coming on there. But can you light your fire if you've got a back boiler, if your water is off? Let us know. There's bound to be a plumber on the road there listening to us. 086 60 25,000, text or WhatsApp, or call us on 07491 25,000 just to check about if you've got oil-fired central heating or a back boiler. Is it okay to light the fire or switch the heating on if your water is off? Right, let us take a break. More of your comments coming in on that. That situation seems to be resolved at this point. So some of the texts I'll read out, I want to read them out anyway, but the problem may no longer be a problem. But we shall see. Stay with us. Back with more after these on the 9 till noon show.
The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union, offering low-rate car loans with fast approval. Apply online at letterkennycu.ie or in office today.
Brian McCormick, Sports and Leisure, Main Street, Letterkenny. Looking to gift the perfect trainers for Christmas? Check out our new arrivals, winterized trainers with a waterproof upper from all your favorite brands. Hoka, Asics, Brooks, and the new favorite, On Running, gives you a unique comfort sensation. Give the gift of sport this Christmas, in-store and online at bmcsports.ie.
Hi, Pat Short here.
And Face Short over here.
I can see that.
They don't know.
Okay.
They can't see it.
We're here to tell you about our new show, which is going to be in
Greenland Theatre, Letterkenny, Saturday the 7th of January 2023. Tickets €30 at ongreenland.com.
Shrink your Christmas bill at Dunnes Stores. Delicious free-range 4-kilo Irish turkeys are just $39.99. And incredible unsmoked centre-cut Irish ham is now just $13.59 for 2.75 kilos. That's 20% off. King prawn cocktail and oak and peat cold smoked salmon are just €6. Plus, with our 10 off 50 grocery voucher, you save even more. Dunnes Stores. Make Christmas for everyone. Terms and conditions apply. Voucher can be used to next grocery shop of €50 or more.
Gift ideas for him this Christmas at Evolve Clothing Letterkenny Retail Park or evolveclothing.com. And don't forget our Evolve gift card. Sale now on.
Things we don't like to share. Uncomfortable moments under the mistletoe. Oh dear. Things we do like to share. Gifts, especially if they're from Samsung. Because this year, you can claim cash back on selected Samsung products with €220 on a Galaxy Z Flip 4 and €55 on a pair of Galaxy Buds 2 Pro. Merry Christmas to them and to you. Find out more at Samsung.com.
Purchase before the 20th December 22 from a participating retailer. Claim from Samsung within 60 days of purchase. T's and C's apply.
At Hickey, Clark and Langan Insurance Brokers, they compare quotes from all the leading insurers, so you get a great price. Home, motor and van, farm, holiday home, travel and liability insurance, they quote them all. So if the worst happens, you're covered. For a competitive insurance quote today, call Hickey, Clark and Langan on 9126688 or pop into their office at Ballymacool, Letterkenny. Hickey, Clark and Langan General Insurances Limited, trading as Hickey, Clark and Langan, is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
Okay, 086 60 25,000 WhatsApps and text to that number, or give us a call on 074 91 25,000, 074 91 25,000. Right, let's shift gears because our teams will be out over the next few days around various parts of the county, and we're giving stuff away. And let's go over now to Kevin and Anya to see where they're at. Hi, Kevin. How are you getting on? Good morning to you.
Good, Greg. How are you getting on?
Nice to see you stuck the hat on, making an effort.
I know.
Appreciate
It's
it.
kind of breezy this morning, so I thought I'd better keep my ears, kind of warm,
All right. So come here. You are in, that looks like, where? Rafo?
Well, it's a centre shop. Yes, it is a Coils Centre here in Rafo. We were at the Dry Art earlier on this morning, but we've moved and we've come now to Centre here in Rafo. We're here because we're out and about all this week. We've got lots of goodies to give away over the next couple of days. As I said, we're at the Dry
Are they
Art
actually
earlier.
goodies, though? Kevin, highly now, before you run away with yourself here, right? Calm down, Kevin. Are they actually goodies? Like, I mean, are these good prizes here? Because we only give away good stuff on the 9 till noon show.
Of course. Well, we've got a €50 voucher for Meehan's of Rafo, and of course, they stock the very best in ladies and men's clothing. So if you're looking for a special gift for him or for her, you can, of course, pop into Meehan's and get something there for them. You can also get a voucher as well if you pop into. I'm kind of a voucher kind of person. I'm thinking, I don't know which you like that. I don't really like that. So I kind of get the voucher kind of thing.
It doesn't matter whether you're a voucher type of person. Is Daniela a voucher type of person? That's the important question.
Last minute voucher king me. Christmas Eve running around the town looking for every voucher.
There's not enough in that goodie bag. A €50 voucher for Meehan's of Rafo. It is a fantastic goodie bag so far. I need something else put in it. Put something else in it. What else is in there?
We've also got a €50 voucher as well for the Yellow Pepper restaurant in Letterkenny as well. I've been there once or twice myself. Really, really lovely restaurant. So we've got that there as well. We've also got other bits and pieces too. We've got a Highland Radio hat. We've also got goodies. We've got pens. We've other bits and pieces. We've chocolates. We've got water bottles and everything. So there's lots of bits and pieces in that goodie bag today. And to be able the chance of winning that there, it's very, very simple. All you have to do is, if you're in the Rafo area, is call over and say hello to us. We've got raffle tickets here. You can enter the draw And of course, we'll be drawing that at around about 11:30 today. And even if you don't win, as I said, we've got loads of sweets here as well. We've got loads of hats as well to be given away. So we're getting loads of toots, and we're getting loads of calls from people as well today. And they're shouting across the town and everything at one another. So we're having a great day so far as well. And yeah, of course, it's to celebrate a big week here on Highland Radio, because we're also going to be out and about, as I said earlier. I'm going to be out and about tomorrow. We're heading further north of the county tomorrow. And as I said to Lee earlier on, he's going to give me a wake-up call about 10 to 5 to make sure I get up good and early to hit the road tomorrow. And then we're also going to be heading west as well. So we are on Wednesday. So we're really looking forward as well to that. And also,
right,
of course,
okay,
so
we'll get to that in a second. I already did 10 minutes of the card draw earlier. So I'll do it again. Calm down here, Kevin. Are those headphones on?
They are just about.
Come here.
I can hardly hear because the hat's covering my ears so well.
I want to make sure people know how they enter. So the Highland car is in on the Diamond in Rafo there. You're close to Centra. So all people have to do is call up to you and give you their name and a telephone number, presumably, and that goes into a hat. And then, are we going to make the draw live? You're going to come back with us after 11. Are we going to make the draw live then? And then we'll know who wins this fantastic goodie bag with the €50 voucher for Meehan's of Rafo and that €50 voucher for the Yellow Pepper restaurant.
Yeah, that's it. Basically, as I said, if you are in the Rafo area, call over, say hello to us, and we've got the tickets here. You don't have to pay or anything to enter the draw. Just call over. We'll give you your ticket. Pop your name, pop your number. And look, if you're in the area at the time when we do the draw at around about 11:30, that'd be brilliant, because I'd love you to speak to the person, give them the goodie bag, and of course, get a photograph with them as well. So call over and say hello to us, and we'll rejoin you again at around about 11:30.
Go on, do the call thing. Go on. I know you've been dying.
Oh, I've been dying to this. Yeah, so we've got the big car draw on Friday. And, of course, not alone that as well, too, but we've got 3 €1,000 cash prizes as well to be won. We're going to be kicking things off on the Naughty Alarm Clock with Lee. And, of course, John will give away €1,000. And also to David will give away €1,000 as well, too. So it's a big week for us, Highland Radio. And things are kicking off as well tonight.
Tell that fella to say hello. Come here. There's a fella just stuck. Call him over here and say...
The postman's here. When you may as well say hello. How are you? Hello, my friends.
How are you getting on?
The 9 to noon show with Greg. How are you getting on? Oh, Greg.
What's the crack? Are you well?
He says, are you well?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Is it busy? Ask him, is there many... Is he delivering many presents, many cards?
Have you delivered many presents yet?
A whole lot. I'm still delivering them.
You're still delivering?
I'm not giving him none at all. He's getting back.
He's getting on.
He's getting on.
We only see all the presents up there for him at Highland.
See that.
Does he want to say hello to anyone, Kevin?
Do you want to say hello to anyone while you're on with us?
Say hello to everybody that knows me.
Everyone knows you. That's a safe answer, that, isn't it? So we'll let the postman back to his duties, because I'm sure he's very, very busy. And as I said, tonight Blake's Bar in Letterkenny, Monday night sessions coming live from 7 o'clock through until 10. So we're really looking forward as well to that. I think you said, Greg, as well, you're going to pop along yourself. So we're going to have great music. We might even get a song out of you. Was it White Christmas what you sang last year? Wasn't it?
Yeah, all right, Kevin, come here. Don't chance
it.
We'll
see. We'll see. Maybe I might bring Jimmy Star.
You worry about getting the sound back to the studio, and I'll worry about what I'm doing. Come here. It's great to see you. It seems to be a nice atmosphere there. Yourself and Anya are going to be there for the next... well, it's actually, get up. People need to get up now and get their name into you, because we're not going to. It's not going to be too long now before we do the draw.
Well, that's it. Yeah, it's coming closer to 5 to 11 there now. So we're doing the draw around about 11:30 or so. So as I said, if you are in the area, do call over, say hello to us, and enter the draw. And as I said, you never know, you could be winning that €50 voucher.
Do you need the bathroom, Kevin? You can't stay still. What's wrong with you?
It's so cold. My hand is literally locked around this microphone, honestly.
All right, come here. Listen, brilliant stuff. I'll let you away. Thanks for being a good sport. Kevin Fury there. He's up in Rafo. And by the way, if you want to watch all that's going on, you can see Kevin and the team there in Rafo. Make sure to go on to our social medias, Highland Radio Ireland, or Facebook. You can watch us live there, or on our website, highlandradio.com. And we'll be back with Kevin and Anya in a wee while. Thanks, Kevin. Good man. Take care.
Well, we'll chat to you then. Cheers.
All right. Fair play to you. All right. Thanks very much indeed. Kevin, our afternoon presenter as well on Saturdays and Sundays with a great mix of 60s, 70s, 80s and 90s, I think. I'm sure, actually, 90s as well. All right. Let us take a break. We'll be back with much more in the 9 till noon show after these messages.
The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union, with monster loans available up to €60,000 for all occasions. Visit letterkennycu.ie.
Make their Christmas gift a special one this year with a personalised gift from T-Shirt Express, Riverside Retail Park, Letterkenny. Get their favourite TV character, online gaming hero or football team printed on a hoodie, T-shirt or tracksuit. We also personalise Christmas stockings with your child's name, as well as those little stocking fillers like keyrings, mugs, bags and wallets. Call in to T-Shirt Express at Riverside Retail Park and see what we can do for you this Christmas.
While everyone's obsessing about the Christmas season, you've got a different season on your mind. One where red noses come from shouting your support in the crisp, cold, pitchside air. Where the roaring fire is in your belly, not your sitting room. And the perfect gift is an unexpected win. Don't miss a moment with a GAA season ticket. A gift for yourself or the fan in your life. Available at gaa.ie/season ticket. Are you in? The GAA, where we all belong.
Don't miss the Spirit of Smoky live for one night at the Villa Rose Hotel Ballybuffet on Friday, December 30th. Hear all your favourites, Living Next Door to Alice, Oh Carol and many more. That's the Spirit of Smoky live at the Villa Rose Hotel. Tickets €25 on sale from ticketstop.ie, hotel reception or pay at the door.
Hello, Chris McManus, MEP here. I want to wish you all a happy and healthy Christmas. Thanks to you all for the support throughout 2022. Wishing you and yours a prosperous new year.
Is your car or van winter ready? Get your free winter check now at Hegarty's Ford in Letterkenny. It includes checking your lights, wipers and coolant. Also, the most common cause of winter breakdowns, your battery. And what you depend on most to keep you safe on the road, your tyres, where the thread depth should be at least 1.6 millimetres. Hegarty's will check all these and more to keep you motoring safely through the winter and beyond. Get winter ready by contacting Hegarty's Ford in Letterkenny today.
4 days is what's left to buy a ticket for Highland Radio's biggest ever Christmas competition. If you're in, you could win a fantastic Nissan Juke SUV worth over €30,000 and 3 chances of winning €1,000 in cash. Draws will take place on Friday the 23rd of December 2022. Simply log on to highlandradio.com and click on the Win a Car link. Good luck. We could be calling you on the 23rd. Draw closes at 11 a.m. on Friday, December 23rd.
Whatever the weather this December, Letterkenny will bring a warm front to your shopping and great value for your pocket. Highland Weather Forecast, brought to you by Shop LK.
Okay, you're very welcome back to the 9 till noon show. Now let's look at that weather forecast for you. I can tell you that windy today with fresh to strong and gusty southerly winds, cloudy with outbreaks of showery rain during the morning, heavy at times with some spot flooding possible. Highest temperatures in the early afternoon of 9 to 12 degrees. Now, I want to welcome on to the programme now Chris McMenamin and Colin McKee, executive chef team at Biddy's, Biddy O'Barnes. Good morning to you, gentlemen. How are you keeping?
Good morning, Greg. How are you? How are you?
Very good, very good. How's things going for you at Biddy's? I haven't had a chance to call in yet, but I'm hearing great things about what you're doing there.
That's great, Greg. We're delighted to be here in Biddy's. The slogan is "It's unlucky to pass," Greg. So we're hoping now you'll get to stop someday.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Try some of our fare.
It's just been an opportunity situation. Certainly not been for the want. Right. We're going to talk. We're going to have to take the news at 11. Hopefully, you guys will stay with us. But we want to talk to you about preparing for Christmas, and it's the key word here: preparing. Because I think a lot of people make quite significant Christmas dinner like dinners every Sunday, but we get all up in a high dough for this one particular meal. Is that fair to say, Chris?
It is fair to say, Greg, but there's more pressure associated with Christmas Day, I suppose, because our extended families could be joining the table and they're not there every Sunday, so you feel that bit more stress or pressure on that day. But myself and Colin have some good wee tips now to help people out and try and make it as stress-free as possible on the day. All
right. Colin, as a chef, is there more pressure on you on Christmas Day, or can you do it with your eyes closed?
No, there's definitely more pressure because people, like being a chef, people have higher expectations for you to do good food. But after a time, you just get used to it. It's important to do good, simple food, not to make it overcomplicated, because as we say, it is a bit stress-free. You do it, as Chris says, you do a family round, so you want it to be enjoyable. But at the end of the day, Christmas Day is not all about cooking. It's about enjoying time with your family, watching Christmas movies, sitting beside the Christmas tree. So it's very important to be prep ahead, get as much prep done as you can in advance.
Yeah, it sounds like heaven. And is it always turkey for you too? Because, you know, some people do different stuff. Maybe they don't want to be traditional. They might do something else. Like, are you turkey guys? It has to be turkey for you at Christmas.
On Christmas Day, it has to be turkey. Not many people cook turkey and ham in a traditional Sunday dinner. Maybe at Easter, maybe once, twice in the year, Christmas, Easter. But no, it has to be turkey and ham on Christmas Day. Definitely, Greg, definitely.
I agree. Listen, stay right where you are, gentlemen. If you've got any questions for Chris McMenamin and for Colin McKee, they are the executive chef team at Biddy O'Barnes. Get them into us right now. 086 60 25,000. WhatsApps and text that number, or give us a call on 074 91 25,000.
Watch the show live now on YouTube, Facebook, and at highlandradio.com.
All right, good morning at 11 o'clock to Donald Kavanagh.
Thank you, Greg. Good morning. The family of Private Sean Rooney has now been reunited with the young soldier killed in Lebanon last week. The Dundalk native has been based in Newton Cunningham for several years and was a former student of St Eunan's College in Letterkenny. His body arrived on an Air Corps flight into Baldonnell Aerodrome this morning. He was killed in Lebanon, where he was serving as a peacekeeping soldier last week. The new government is beginning its first full week in office after Taoiseach Líamh Varadkar replaced Micheál Martin over the weekend. While a number of ministers changed department, there was no change to the senior ministerial lineup, with Minister Charlie McConalogue saying he was relieved to remain where he is. Every sector will have to play its part in reducing its carbon emissions, according to the Environment Minister. Plans will go before Cabinet later this week to achieve cuts. It'll include a 20% cut in the number of cars on the road and a 10% cut in the national herd. Minister Eamon Ryan says that doesn't mean that farming will have to suffer. A Derry City and Strabane District Council spokesperson says it's continuing to work closely with Donegal County Council to bring forward the Riverine project, a significant cross-border regeneration plan for the Lifford and Strabane area. It follows reports that a footbridge over the Foyle linking the two towns may be delayed because Donegal County Council, the lead of the project, has so far been unable to secure a foreshore licence for the project. The spokesperson stressed both councils are working together and with the project's EU funders and support government departments to discuss the issues and agree an appropriate way forward. Mount Erin says it's looking unlikely that we'll have a white Christmas, but there may be some flurries of snow in Donegal in the days after December 25th. A tropical airflow has caused temperatures to rise significantly today following last week's cold snap. Temperatures are due to fall back to average values again this week. And that's Highland Radio News. We're back with news headlines again at 12 noon.
Okay, Donald, thank you very much indeed for that. Right, we're in the company of Chris McMenamin and Colin McKee, executive chef team at Biddy O'Barnes. Right, Chris, what's the number one mistake we make? Inviting the in-laws.
What is it? Fail to prepare, prepare to fail.
Yes.
It's all about preparation. And, you know, there's some great offers out there at the minute. For example, Donegal Fruit are offering great value on prep veg. So you can call Donegal Fruit now in Donegal Town and order your pre-prep veg. It comes in vacuum packed bags, peeled potatoes and stuff. That takes a lot of pressure out of peeling vegetables, potatoes. Monotonous jobs is what we would call it. Great quality, and I think people should take advantage of offers like that. And also,
just in relation then to how we cook those vegetables, right?
Yes.
I mean, potatoes not so much, but a lot of people maybe like to roast vegetables now, or get a sweetness to them. You know, so in other words, rather than it just being an accompaniment and a third on the plate, that you want them to challenge the rest of the plate in terms of flavour. So what can we do to sort of maybe get our the wee yolks, and our carrots and turnips, parsnips to pop a bit for us? What can we do there?
I'll let Colin answer that, sure.
All right, Colin.
Well, turning carrots and parsnips and to get a bit of sweetness in them, as you say, a good way is to pre-boil them and then keep them a bit al dente and then strain them and season them with a bit of honey, a few herbs like thyme or rosemary, some salt and pepper, and then just bake them off in the oven, and that'll give them a nice sweet herby flavour to them. Another nice thing to do with Brussels sprouts is, again, boil them in seasoned water, strain them, mix a bit of toasted almonds, smoked bacon or chestnuts to them, and serve me that. And another thing that was nice was turkey, or if somebody preferred duck for Christmas Day, is a braised red cabbage. So it's pretty much shredded red cabbage that's cooked in a bit of red wine, your spices, star anise, cloves, orange zest, and cooked out for a young period of time at a low temperature.
Yeah.
It was very well with a roast duck.
A slow cooker would be very good for a braised red cabbage, for example.
Yeah, Brussels sprouts, I mean, you know, I think we have a bit of crack with them, and, you know, people only eat them once a year, or I love them, all right. But Brussels sprouts are actually really very popular the world over, you know, especially with maybe your couscous and your eaters, you know what I mean, your millennials or what have you. I mean, Brussels sprouts are really in favour. You know, that they're not as divisive a food type as they might be here sometimes.
Yeah, Brussels sprouts are very popular all over the world now. I think they've become more popular in Ireland as well. I think the important part is how they're cooked. Maybe back a few years ago, Brussels sprouts were known to be a bit like cabbage, overcooked, very soggy, and maybe tasteless. But for the Christmas dinner, what I personally do at home is I cook the Brussels sprouts in the same stock that the ham was cooked in. Because the flavour of that, you know, and the flavour that adds into the sprouts. And then, as Colin says, fry it off with some smoked bacon in butter, smoked bacon, and finish them off with some nice flaked almonds just for the texture, you know?
Yeah, let's not be shy about the butter. It's the one meal of the year. Just lather it in, yeah?
Lather it on. Treat yourselves. It's Christmas. Butter and cream. Don't be shy.
Okay. I'm not going to ask that question. I'm going to save that one to last. It might be controversial.
That sounds good.
No, it's the word fire and air, but not in that order. But I'll come back to that in a second. Are there any sides that can be done in advance? I always end up overwhelmed on the day.
Yes. Well, the stuffing can be done in advance. There's all different variants of stuffing you can make. You can make a basic sage and onion stuffing, or you get a bake onion and smoked bacon. Or again, you can add in some chestnuts to it. Or somebody does like a more fruity-based stuffing, you can add in some dried apricots. And that can all be done the day before. The roasties can all be done the day before, like pre-boiled. Seasoned with a bit of mixed herbs, your salt and pepper, a bit of garlic powder. Or the next thing you do is roast them in the oven. And the same as the veg, they can all be prepped.
Yeah.
So really everything, not everything, but all the sides, there's no shame in that game. They can be pre-prepared.
They can be pre-prepared. The Brussels sprouts and the mashed potato are probably the only things that you can't pre-prepare. Yeah. You know, like you can have your gravy or your sauce ready the day before for your turkey. For example, if you're doing a starter like soup or prawns or whatever, you can have your prawns marinating in the fridge overnight. You can have your soup done, ready to go. Obviously kept in the fridge and just reheated on the day, so you're not worrying about that. And also for desserts as well, we were talking about it earlier, depending on what you want to make, but a good suggestion would be like a nice Christmas trifle of some sort. Like Colin has a great recipe for mulled wine Christmas trifle, a nice chocolate mousse maybe for the kids, and all this jelly, all that can be set in the fridge the night before, and you don't have to worry. And all you have to do is really serve ice cream on it.
Right, let's talk about just the stuff and then a quick recipe. You don't want to make too much of it either, I don't think, but just a quick, simple sage and onion stuffing. Do you buy the bag of breadcrumbs? Do you blend down, you know, bread that's on the turn? I don't know. Tell us, Colin, what you do.
No, if it is handy to buy the crumbs ready to go. So what we would do is, for example, we're making an onion and smoked bacon stuffing. We would caramelise the smoked bacon off in a nice hot pot. You would add in your onion, cook that out, add in your mixed herbs, and then add in some butter. When you get the butter melt down, and when the butter's melted, add in your breadcrumbs until you get the right consistency, get your stuffing. Some people like a drier stuffing, or some people like a more moist.
You can't beat a little bit of crisp to the I think for me. Yeah.
But butter, we do use a lot of butter in our stuffing as well, because it's moist going into it. If you're finishing in the oven, then you're, as you say, Greg, you have that crispy topping, but it has to be moist underneath. But it's a good combination of texture.
Yeah, and in the oven, then that's the oven, or is that under a grill? Pardon my ignorance on this one.
No, oven, because if you put it under a grill, it'll be only the top that gets
understood. So
heated, and the bottom.
Right, so you're still cooking it through. I get you. I don't know how easy this might be. Do you have a recipe for a stuffed shoulder of lamb? That sounds quite complex. I don't know.
Ooh.
Well, the apricot stuffing would work 5 hours at, because a bit of sweetness goes 5 hours jam. So you can make the stuffing putting on the sage, and then just add in some diced of the dried apricot into it. or also even some cranberries. You can use frozen bag cranberries, mix that with your stuffing. The cranberry stuffing will also go very well with the turkey as well.
The shoulder of lamb will have to be cooked very slowly. You're probably talking 3.5 hours at a heat of roughly 130 degrees or 125 degrees, because it's a tough meat. So the slower you cook it, maybe the longer you cook it, the tenderer it is. So that's another wee tip on the shoulder of lamb.
How important do you think it is to have a what do you call it? A temperature gauge. What are they called?
Probes.
Probes. You know, because we're many of us are cooking a big bird that we don't normally cook. There's always that uncertainty about how it's cooked inside. You're talking about lamb there and other meats and what have you. Like the probe is really useful for any amateur chef that wants to sort of take a lot of the stress out of it. I would imagine.
Yeah, the probe. I think we use probes all the time in the professional industry.
Yeah,
we have one at home as well. Yeah, definitely, as you say, Greg, when you're cooking big birds and we're not used to cooking at this time of the year, it is good to have the probe. You put it into the thickest part of the meat, and it has to come up to 75 degrees. That's the key temperature. When it reaches 75 degrees, then you let it rest. That's another key point on turkey. You have to let it rest. So we would recommend after the turkey reaches the required temperature, is let it rest for about 20 minutes, so all the juices flow back down and it kind of tenderizes the meat again.
Yeah, is there a standard cooking time for a turkey, sort of a no-fail time and heat and oven location?
Yeah, so we generally use the middle shelf in the oven, and we always say for on-the-bone turkey, it'll be 20 minutes per kg, plus 90 minutes after that. Or if it's off the bone, it's 20 minutes per kg and 70 minutes after that. It just has to be cooked through, and whenever you probe it, the juice come out, it has to uncure.
Yeah, okay. And in terms of a crown, a turkey crown, a lot of people might be opting for that. What are your guys' views on crowns? I suppose it just depends on, if no one eats the legs, there's no. I know butchers don't really like crowns because they've nothing to do with the legs really, but there's no shame in the game of using a crown, presumably.
Oh, absolutely not. Listen, the quality of the turkeys and the crown these days is absolutely fantastic. No shame at all. What we do, what we would advise is we salt and pepper the skin of the crown, a few mixed herbs, say, the dried mixed herbs you have at home anyway, and then we put butter on the skin, so the skin, that makes it more crispy. So you're adding flavour to it. Season's key, and then actually out of the crown juices or the turkey juices as well, we make the gravy from that as well. So no, there's no shame in that. And the crown is handy. It's easier portioned and everything for people. You're not worrying about bones and far less waste.
Yeah, okay, I agree. I have a crown now. I was waiting to see what your answer would be before I'd admit to the crownage. I've about 9 messages on Brussels sprouts again. So we did talk about it. So one of you just gave us the ultimate no throwaway Brussels sprout thing we should do this Christmas. Colin, come on.
You mean use up the leftovers?
No. Get people to eat them. How do we? What's the best way, in a different, more exciting way? People have talked about green juice running around the plate, sogginess, throwing in the bin. So talk to me about how we cook, prepare and serve our Brussels sprouts, so that this is the year that they say, do you know what? Those boys in the 9 till noon show knew what they were at.
The best way is to not overcook them. It's very important to not too mushy, because if they're mushy...
Do we boil them then? And you need to get basic with me here.
So just make sure the pot of water is boiling before you add in the Brussels sprouts. That's very important, because if the sprouts are in cold water, they go up to the boil, they're already going to use the vibrant green colour. So it's very important to put them in seasoned boiling water and put the sprouts in and take them out when they're just a wee bit, yes and al dente. They just have to be cooked.
Yeah.
But it's very important they're not mushy. Then strain them, and you can season them any way you want. So your normal salt and pepper, and then, as we said before, the bacon, the almonds, the chestnuts.
Garlic.
Yeah, you have to watch the sprouts. Generally, you boil them maybe for 7 or 8 minutes. You have to put a wee cross on them as well. If you don't cut them in half, if you cut them in half and boil them, there's a chance it's going to turn out like cabbage. So try and keep them whole and put the wee cross at the bottom.
You've done nothing to convince me that this is the year I'm going to try Brussels sprouts.
What about deep fried sprouts? They're coming into fashion now.
Hey, no harm in that either. Sounds more attractive. Settle a debate. I love the stuffing in the turkey, but my mum always wants it cooked separately. Which is best? This comes, I suppose, the texture you want, or I don't.
Probably outline the personal preference, but putting the stuffing in the turkey would also help season the turkey from the inside. and would cause more steam inside the turkey, so it keeps the turkey more moist during cooking because the steam comes from the butter in the stuffing. But again, at the end, as you said before, if you want a more crunchier, crispier texture to your stuffing, you're better doing separate in the oven.
It is personal preference for sure.
We're never good at settling those debates because both always end up right. What are good alternatives to turkey? I feel like change this year.
For me, duck's a very good one.
Are you quackers?
You can't beat a roast duck with a nice gears on top. Make a bit like orange juice. We choose down a bit of orange juice with a bit of ginger, a bit of sugar, and then gears that on top of the duck. Maybe a bit of clove powder on top, and bake in the oven. Which, like I said before, the red cabbage.
Right. Let's get to with more questions. The air fryer, right? I do my ham in the air fryer. Okay, and it comes out absolutely delicious. You talked about some people boil it. I also I do it two ways. Brian McDermott's got a great way of doing it in his book. I do it that way as well, and I've done it in the slow cooker. The air fryer is so bloody handy though, and also for roasting vegetables. Are you snobby about the air fryer, or now I've as the listeners would know, I have the air oven, so it's got 3 slots, so I don't have to worry about stuff sitting in the bottom. But there's no harm in using the air fryer if it makes your life a bit easier.
No harm at all. Believe it or not, Greg, we're purchasing our own first air fryer this week for home.
Is this way Biddy O'Barnes or way in your house? Which one?
No, there's no harm at all, and they have come into very, very much into fashion, and no, there's no harm at all. And again, it's personal preference. What you want to? My ham. I prefer to cook it in a stock and glaze it after, and finish it in the oven with some demerara sugar. But again, everybody to their own, but definitely not snobby about
because it doesn't dry out. Like the meat out of an air fryer is incredibly moist, which and I can't achieve that because I don't have the cooking skills. Slow cooker. What would you do when you slow cook it for Christmas dinner? A caller wants to know.
So slow cook it if you want to do something like a braised meat instead. Like if you want to do a braised beef, like a fair bit of beef or something like that, you could make your stock. So you make like a beef stock. You could use just a bit of gravy powder, your vegetables, a bit of red wine, pour that over your beef and slow cook in the slow cooker for a few hours until the sauce gets nice and sticky and the meat goes nice and tender. Yeah. It'd be also very suitable for the yam shoulder we mentioned before. Put a nice bit of rosemary into it.
Right. When do you have Christmas dinner? Some people have it like at 1 or 2. And then some people have it like 5 or 6, because a caller wants to know what's the best breakfast to have on Christmas Day. My husband wants to have a fry-up, but I think that's too much food.
The full Irish is nice on Christmas Day, but maybe more suitable for Stephen's Day.
I don't know, but I think traditionally in our house we used to not have Christmas dinner till about 3 or 4 in the afternoon, and by the time that came, your stomach would be rattling. So it depends. Yeah. What time are you having your Christmas dinner at?
Well, in our house it's 4 o'clock.
That's good. Oh, full Irish. Yeah. Chris?
In our house, full Irish. Be closer to 2 for me.
2?
Yeah.
Eating it at 2?
Yeah.
You're mad.
Yeah.
Madman. Absolute madman. I've heard of pounding a raw egg into your potatoes to cream them. Would you recommend, or how do you make sure you don't have lumpy mash?
Oh, no. Egg. Well, we've never done that. But we do is we put butter and cream. That's the secret. Butter and double cream.
Plenty of it.
And plenty of it. Don't be skimpy. And also salt. You have to... Salt's a key secret, actually, to mashed potato. And it's fairly light. Mashed potato and salt go hand in hand. So you just have to taste it. Add a bit.
All the good chefs taste their food. I mean, you have to taste it, don't you? That's just the way it is.
There'd be nothing worse now than making your mashed potato on Christmas Day, and then you put all the salt in because Chris and Colin said, and then you taste it and it's too salty. You have to taste it as you go to get the flavours right.
And don't over-season it either. I mean, you presumably want to season it, but you want to leave it to taste then, don't you?
Absolutely. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's a balancing act, Greg.
Yeah, right. Okay. Listen, we've live music and giveaways and everything. Lads, thanks so much. Continued success with Biddy O'Barnes.
Thank you very much. And happy Christmas to everybody. And we look forward to welcoming them to Biddy's in 2023.
Yeah, okay. And have a happy Christmas and successful 2023 to you and yours. Thanks so much, gents. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye. Chris McManamon and Colin McKee there.
The county's #1 talk show. The 9 till noon show on Highland Radio. The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union, with monster loans available up to €60,000 for all occasions. Visit letterkennycu.ie. Tune in this Tuesday to the Community Garda information slot, on air after 10 a.m. on the 9 till noon show in association with Sheridan Security Systems. Call today and get your zero-wire alarm system from €299. Sheridan Security, 91-26025.
With Christmas fast approaching, now's the perfect time to check out the hundreds of amazing gifts at Boots for under €15. From our Sunday Rain bath salts to our feather and down massage to sleep set. The perfect way to say you've got their back, shoulders, and even the bottom of their feet. Shop safely on boots.ie or via the Boots app. Subject to availability, larger stores, delivery charges may apply.
If the medical experts get it wrong, everything changes. From misdiagnosis or delayed diagnosis to surgical injury or even poor treatment. All have physical, emotional and financial consequences. We're here to help. So if your treatment didn't go according to plan, speak to our experienced medical negligence team at McElhenney and Associates. Find us online or call 074 917 5989. McElhenney and Associates Solicitors, Stranorlar. In contentious business, a solicitor may not calculate fees or other charges as a percentage or proportion of any award or settlement.
Are you out Christmas shopping, or do you plan on meeting a friend or two for lunch, dinner or something small? The Tea Room Glencar has everything you need for a cosy catch-up. Open 7 days a week from 7:30 a.m. at Spar, Glencar.
Hi, Paddy here at Shane Conley Cars in Donegal Town. Are you looking to upgrade your car? With Shane Conley Cars, you'll find makes and models for every budget. Great finance options, and we also accept trade-ins. Check out ShaneConleyCars.com or call in to us at Shane Conley Cars from Lonaher Road, Donegal Town.
Bill Kenwright presents Wooly Russell's multi-award-winning musical Blood Brothers at the Millennium Forum from Tuesday 31st of January to Saturday 4th of February. Rebecca Storm stars in the internationally acclaimed musical featuring unforgettable hit songs including Marilyn Monroe and Tell Me It's Not True. Book now at millenniumforum.co.uk or call 04871 264455.
Now it's time for a musical treat for you, because joining me in studio is Amy Meehan, a singer-songwriter, guitarist and pianist. And Amy, you have your guitar with you today. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
How are you keeping?
I'm doing good.
Are you all excited?
I'm excited to be here.
Are you on the naughty or nice list?
You know, this year I think I'm on the nice list. I think so. I hope so anyway.
So you had a boring 2022?
Well, not boring at all. Well, I've been studying a lot, so.
Very good. Okay, excellent. No, it's great to have you back up. It has been a while, has it?
It has. I don't think I've been here since the competition that I won for the songwriting thing. I'm only after remembering that. So that was good.
So that was only one of your accolades. I mean, your career has been going quite well. I think the last time I was speaking to you, we were talking about momentum and things were going really well for you before we had to go in hiatus for a couple of years. And now kicking back on again, or are you trying to balance your music with your studies, or what's the story?
Balancing the music with the studies. I was hoping to get back at performances, but that hasn't really happened this year. I couldn't, because I'm in my last year in college now. I study music in Ulster University in Magee Campus Derry, and it's 70% of my full degree this year for third year, so I have a lot of work to do even over the Christmas period. So balancing that with my assignments and concert series for choir concerts, it's just been so busy, but I have been doing some stuff. I've been singing at weddings, I've been writing some songs, which hopefully...
What mood are you in writing wise at the moment?
Do you know, I was actually thinking about this. Things have changed a lot. You know, I put out 2 songs there a couple of years ago, and the style has kind of changed slightly. Not a lot, but because I'm still writing with my guitar and my piano and all. But I think I've been writing a lot more. I kind of found...
What area do you think you're moving into?
See, this is my issue. I don't know.
Labeling musicians, but would it be in, I don't know.
I think it's more folk.
Folky.
It's folky. I hate using the word indie, because indie is kind of a stereotype thing now.
It's not quite as cool as it used to be.
It's not quite as cool. Everything is indie now, I think. But folk, I'm using kind of open tunings on the guitar, which is kind of a hassle for trying to do different songs, because you have to tune every time in between them. But it's interesting to kind of find in my voice, which I haven't been able to do.
But I suppose, as we're growing as individuals, you know, I say our, I mean, the ours doing a lot of lifting here. Our talents change. No, our influences change. You know, I mean, especially with the course that you're doing, you're like a sponge. You're soaking up other people's influences. You're influencing other people. I'm sure you've jammed and thought, all right, this is something I like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's part of the evolution of you.
Exactly.
It's going to be reflected in what you want to do musically, presumably.
It's like 3 years ago, my influences they still are, but it's constantly evolving and changing.
Yeah.
70s and 80s, Beatles, Eagles, and now I've been listening to more people like the Paper Kites, Damien Rice, Irish artist, amazing. So things like that, even when you're jamming with other people in college, meeting people who have the same styles as you, kind of stealing wee chords here and there, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's brilliant, and I really am enjoying it.
Because I think there's an awful lot of music that would have been seen as, indie. In other words, you wouldn't hear it, or underground, or whatever. And I think a lot of that's to do with people able to choose their own music with streaming as well. I think there's a nice balance to be had there. Is that all different types of music and stuff that would seem really left field, it's all out there for everyone's listening to it all of the time. They're making that choice. Do you know what I mean? They don't feel they have to be fed certain stuff.
On Spotify, I'm even finding recently I'm listening to kind of artist radio and song radio. So if you like a song, you can find about 20.
No, rubbish. The only way to listen to radio is on Highland Radio.
No, that's true. Yes, that's true.
Right,
my apologies.
We've cut you down to one chorus.
Oh my goodness.
No, but it
you know what I mean?
It depends on where you're at. And, it depends on where you're at and what mood you're at. You know what I mean? As to
exactly.
What you want. I know exactly. Sometimes I love listening to people chatting and all that kind of stuff, and sometimes it's a distraction. It just depends what space I'm in. And now people have lots of choice, and that's good. Right, okay, listen. Right, you are going to sing one or two. Have you got time for two?
I have time for two, if you have time for two.
Yeah, of course we do. What is the first one you're going to do first?
So I'm going to do Please Come Home for Christmas, and the version that I've listened to is by the Eagles, but I think I looked it up last night, and it was written in the 60s, but I'm going to do my own version of it.
You've written a Christmas song, haven't you?
No.
Have you not?
Not yet. But maybe in the future.
I mean, there has to be another Christmas song.
There has to be. I was thinking about this as well. You're listening on the radio to all of these Christmas songs, and they're great, and they're coming year after year. And you know what? I love listening to the really old ones, the original, the very.
But there has to be new brilliant songs for future generations.
I think so. There definitely is. I think Christmas has a certain sound, but I think there should be more kind of genres of Christmas music out there.
Definitely.
And maybe there is, and we just haven't heard it yet.
Yeah, I've been searching. But anyway, we are going to hear Please Come Home for Christmas. So how you're doing this in the style of the Eagles, or
the
the
Eagles.
Inspiration from the Eagles?
Yeah, well, it's just kind of whatever way it happens at the minute.
Yeah,
so
okay, we'll see what
Eagles.
happens. You've tuned it anyway, have you?
Tuned
All
it.
right, we're
Brilliant.
ready to go.
Thanks very much. Bells will be ringing, the sad news. Oh, what a Christmas to have the blues. My baby's gone, I have no friends to wish me greetings. Once again, crowds will be singing Silent Night, Christmas carols by candlelight. Please come home for Christmas. Please come home for Christmas. And if not for Christmas, by New night, friends and relations sing salutations, just as sure as the stars shine above. But this is Christmas. Yes, Christmas, my dear, the time of year to be with the one that you love. So won't you tell me you'll never mourn Christmas and New Year's will find you home. There'll be no more sorrow, no grief or I'll be happy, happy once again. There'll be no more sorrow, no grief or pain, and I'll be happy at Christmas once again.
All right, Amy Meehan, please come home for Christmas. And as you were playing that, there was something that struck me too. It's not unique to Christmas songs, well, maybe it is that different people listening to that, it could be the Bon Jovi version that they're familiar with. It could be the Elvis Presley. I think for me, it's the Elvis Presley. You are taking it, you've been listening to the Eagles versions of it that Alicia Keys has done. You know what I mean? It's astonishing how many people have recorded that song and people listening. That sounded almost more like the Elvis version to me. But
really?
Yeah.
Because I haven't even heard the Elvis version. It's
like
of course. You should be an Elvis impersonator. That's very good.
You know what I mean? You know what it's going to sound like. But it's just, as I was listening to you, I was thinking, different people that's going to resonate with different artists. Okay. Right. So what's 2023 got in store for you, do you think?
Well, this year finishing off my degree, so I'll be finished. And next year, I don't know, I'm either going to be going down the route of teaching, maybe going down the route of a PhD, which is a big ambition, but we'll see. I could be doing that well on in the future, but in the future, really what I want to be doing is I love performing, I love singing, I love playing music. I love passing on my music to others, teaching. It's great to see people.
It's a tough one because you have big decisions to make.
I really do.
Because, if you take a certain path, you have to know consciously you're maybe not going to be able to do everything that you might want to do with music.
Exactly.
It's impossible to do everything.
Exactly.
So I wouldn't like to be, because one's a career and also teaching and everything that delivers.
Yeah.
But the other is releasing absolutely all of your energies into the creative process.
See, that's it.
And then when do you do that?
I don't see myself as the next Adele or anything like big. Well, no, I know it would be great if that did happen.
All you have to do is get married and get divorced right now.
True.
Keep doing it.
But I don't know. I need to have some kind of a career in place. Just to fall back on.
The reality
I will
of
be
it,
still, no matter what I do, if I do go down the teaching route, I still will be writing songs and performing songs because that's what I love doing.
Yeah, I get you. But it's exciting, but it's
really
still
exciting.
Big decisions like
Big
Crossroads
decisions.
and stuff. Right, Little Town of Bethlehem.
Yeah.
We're going to finish off with that one, are we?
Perfect, yeah, that's one. I heard I think it's Sarah McLachlan doing this a couple of years ago, and I love this song. And I don't hear many people doing it, so I thought I would do it here today.
Brilliant.
For you.
We're delighted. Take it away when you're ready, Amy.
Great. Oh, little town of Bethlehem, how still we see thee lie above thy deep and dreamless sleep. The silent stars go by, yet in the dark street shineth the everlasting light. The hopes and fears of all the years are met in thee tonight. How silently the wondrous gift is given. So God imparts to human hearts the blessings of His heaven. No ear may hear is coming, but in this world of sin, where meek souls will receive Him still, the dear Christ enters in. O holy child of Bethlehem, descend to us, we pray. Cast out our sin and enter in. Be born in us today. We hear the Christmas angels their great glad tidings tell. Oh, come to us, abide in us, our Lord Emmanuel. Oh, come to us, abide with us, our Lord Emmanuel.
Amy, that was lovely. Thank you very much. Great to have you on the show again. Great to see you again. And we appreciate it. Have a happy Christmas and a great 2023, whatever way you decide to go.
Thank you very much. You too.
All right, bye-bye. Back with more after the break.
The 9 till noon show with Letterkenny Credit Union. Now offering MyCU current account and debit MasterCard. Bringing full banking features. Delivered with the same local trustworthy service of your credit union.
Give a gift of choice this Christmas with a gift card that supports Irish retail. Accepted in over 12,000 retail outlets nationwide and online with participating retailers, the One for All gift card is a perfect gift for loved ones. Pick up a One for All at your local post office and make Christmas shopping easier this year. The One for All gift card is issued by GVS Prepaid Europe Limited. GVS Prepaid Europe Limited is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
Did you hear that? Wine and champagne is 20% off. And that? Medium selection boxes like Skittles and Cadbury mix and match any three for €5. 20 and 24 can boxes of Coke, Diet Coke and Coke Zero are just €12. Have you got any 10 off 50s? And that's the sound of better value. Every week leading up to Christmas, there's new savings to be had. Dunn Stores. Make Christmas for everyone. Terms and conditions apply. Vouching abused on ex-grocery shop of €50 or more. Voucher excludes alcohol. Please drink sensibly.
Hi there, David James here, inviting you to join myself and my band on St. Stephen's Night, Monday the 26th of December, for a great night of dancing in the Ingraining Hotel in Burt. Doors open at 9 with dancing from 9:30. Our special guest on the night is Sinead Black. Why not make a night of it? B&B only $59.50 per person sharing. We'll see you on St. Stephen's Night.
Give the gift of shoes this Christmas with Green Shoes. Top brands like Kate Appleby, Una Healy and Doc Martens. Also Tommy Bow, Bugatti, Echo and many more. A huge selection of everyday and special occasion footwear. If in doubt, gift cards are available. Green Shoes at Letterkenny Shopping Centre, Market Square and in Fulcara. Shop LK and One for All gift cards accepted and a deposit club is available. Shop online at greenshoes.com.
The fine for using your phone while driving has doubled from €60 to "New shirt, Dave. You look great." Don't get fined €120. There are better things to spend your money on. For a full list of updated fines, visit rsa.ie. Your mobile, would it kill you to put it away? A message from the Road Safety Authority.
Halfway House Christmas Bingo this Monday night at Halfway House Burnfoot. An extra €1,000 must be won on the night. €3,500 must go. Plus, sit beside prizes. With a snowball on 45 numbers or less. That's Halfway House Bingo tonight at 8:30.
For all your home heating needs, oil, gas and solid fuels. National Fuels, Pierce Road, Letterkenny. 9137400. National Fuels, bringing you the time at...
Okay, the time is 11:38. Coming up on the programme, we're going to be giving, we're going to be getting our daily winner for our your chance to win 20 bags of coal on Friday. And you're going to get a ticket if you're correct today to enter the fabulous car draw on Friday as well. We're going to cross over to Anya and Kevin very shortly. They're in Rafo. We chatted to them at 10 to 11. Since then, you've been going up to them in Rafo and leaving your name and number, and one of you is going to win a goodie bag, which includes €50 voucher for Meehan's of Rafo, a €50 voucher for the Yellow Pepper Restaurant in Letterkenny, and in the prize, there's T-shirts. We've got lovely new T-shirts actually here for giving away. Hats, which are really good as well. A key ring, a flashlight, chocolates, a water bottle, balloons and pens. All with Highland branding and all. So that's nice, isn't it? Nice wee lift for someone. And they're going to be in different parts of the county Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, I believe. And then on Friday we have our open day where hopefully you'll call up and say hello while we broadcast the programme. Santi's going to be here in our outside broadcasting unit. So your young ones, or not so young, it depends, whichever, can go up into the unit, say hello to Santi. The last chance maybe to see him in person ahead of him hitting the road for Sunday. And you'll be able to come in here, have a cup of tea, cup of coffee. I think there's even hot chocolate, actually. Not sure if it's made on water or milk. I suspect water. But anyway, be that as it may, it's going to be here for you. And all that's to come over the course of the week. I do have one more break to catch up on here because we overran a little bit with the item on the cooking, and I didn't want to interrupt Amy either because that was such a treat for you.
The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union, offering low-rate car loans with fast approval. Apply online at letterkennycu.ie or in office today.
It's important to be able to do the things you love at Christmas. That's why Tesco are standing up for joy this year with offers on your Tesco Club card. Carve yourself a special Christmas with the Tesco finest Irish Angus Carvery rib roast, now half price. You can tick that off your foodie wish list. And we've offers on a variety of festive veg like Brussels sprouts, now 49 cent. And before you say you hate Brussels sprouts, don't worry. There's cabbage, Swedes and carrots to name a few. We're standing up for joy this Christmas. Tesco. Every little helps. Product subject to availability. Excludes express stores.
Hello there. Golly gosh, it's almost Christmas and we want to help you here at Harvey's Point make it extra special. And what better way than with a Harvey's Point gift card. Available to order direct from the hotel 074 97 22208 or online at harveyspoint.com. It's the gift that keeps on giving all year round. A Harvey's Point gift card.
Still need some fabulous Christmas gift ideas? Spoil your friends and family this Christmas with a gift voucher from Castle Grove House. Order now by calling 9151118 or order online at castlegrove.com.
Flu and COVID-19 vaccines will give your immune system the top-up it needs to help protect you from serious illness. That's why children, older people, healthcare workers, and anyone with a long-term health condition are invited to get their recommended flu and COVID-19 vaccines. Visit hsc.ie or call our team on HSC Live on 1800 700 700 to see what vaccines are recommended for you and make sure you and your family are protected in the months ahead. From the HSE.
What if someone in the house has medical equipment that uses electricity?
What if my mum has mobility problems and needs to charge her electric walker?
Everyone's concerned about rising energy bills, some more than others. But there could be circumstances that classify you as a vulnerable customer. Just check with your supplier and be sure to register. Talk to your supplier or find out more at cru.ie. Here to shed light on your energy rights. Brought to you by the Commission for Regulation of Utilities.
Veolia, Ireland's leading environmental services company, provides solutions that enable ecological transformation through a comprehensive range of energy, waste and water services. We are currently seeking project managers and project engineers with water or wastewater experience to join our dynamic and growing team in Donegal. If you are interested in any of these exciting opportunities, please send your CV to ie.talent@veolia.com.
Okay, it's all very exciting. We are now giving away a goodie bag. You didn't even have to be a listener. You could just go up and chat to Anya. And Kevin, Anya, good morning to you. Welcome to the 9 till noon show.
Good morning, Greg. How are you?
I'm okay. People will recognise you from our social media. Is this your first time live on the show with me?
Yes,
It is?
yes. First time. Pressure on.
No pressure at all. Fair play to you, Anya. Right, okay. So what's the atmosphere been like in Rafo this morning?
It's been great. We've had a great response here. We've had people coming along the street. We've been handed coffees. Lovely woman across the road, Blinkers Coffee, gave us a free coffee. Plenty of chats and everything, so it's been great to get chatting to everyone in Rafo here.
Yeah, and it's nice, isn't it, rather than also inviting people in to go out and meet people out there, isn't it, Anya?
Yeah, lovely atmosphere here in Rafo.
Right, so what have you been doing then? So people have been coming up and just, they don't have to answer any questions or anything, just giving you their names and numbers, and they're going into a hat. Is that correct?
Yep, so we've got the draw here. We've been getting just their name and number on a raffle ticket. All they had to do was come up and say hello to us, and they're in with a chance, so it was very easy.
Remind us of the prizes, Anya, because they're nice.
Yeah. So we have a great Highland Radio goodie bag full of a few Highland Radio goodies, as well as a €50 voucher from Meehan's in Rafo. And we also have a €50 voucher from the Yellow Pepper. So very big thank you to the businesses for their lovely vouchers.
Great stuff. And there's T-shirts, a hat, a T-shirt, a hat.
We've got a bottle, we've got some chocolates, so there's plenty in the goodie bag.
And I also want to say congratulations on the wearing of the hat as well, to get into the spirit of things. Was that a personal choice?
It kept us warm through the wind here.
Was that a personal choice, or did Kevin put the pressure on?
It was Kevin here. He was just mad to get into the Christmas spirit, so he landed with the hats, and we had no choice in the matter.
Well, he is only 12, so why wouldn't he? Has he still got his hat on? Kevin, has he still got his hat on? He has, yeah.
He has, yeah. He's sitting in the car there, keeping warm. I was sent out to do this link, so.
Good. Well, listen, it's great to have you on. You've done great. So, Anya, how are we going to do this draw then? We're going to do it live now?
Yeah, we are going to go do the raffle here.
Where is it? Is it in a
Kevin
box?
here, he came out of the car for this raffle.
Come on, bring it. I want to see the box. Bring it over.
We might get the ladies behind us to pick a winner.
Yep. Okay. Right. Okay. On the streets of Rafo.
So we've got the ladies behind us picking the winner.
Yeah. Then she's digging deep. She's not looking.
Hopefully she doesn't pick her own name out.
Well, there's no harm in that. It's been done before. Right. Okay. Come on, Kevin. This is live radio.
Kevin, come on.
Kevin.
We're live on air here.
All right, come on. What have we got, Anya?
So our winner is Rowan Toland from St. Johnston.
Wow, well done. Rowan Toland from St. Johnston.
The winner of our goodie bag.
Brilliant stuff, okay. And that's a Meehan's of Rafo voucher worth €50, €50 voucher for Yellow Pepper Restaurant, and that much sought after Highland Radio goodie bag, T-shirts, hats, keyrings, flashlights. Okay, you've enjoyed Rafo. Anya, you're back on the road tomorrow. I don't think you can tell us where, or can you? I don't know. It's above my pay scale.
We can't say specifically, but if they keep an eye on our socials, they might get a few clues and hints, and they'll be able to maybe figure out where we'll be tomorrow.
Rightio. And the social media handles for us, Anya, for people who want to get involved?
So it's Highland Radio Donegal on Instagram and Highland Radio on Facebook, and we'll be very busy with our stories and posts, so keep an eye out on those.
Yeah, and there's a lot of fun on there as well too, isn't there?
There
You see the presenters and personalities in different lights as well. All right, Anya, well done to you. You did great. Thanks so much for that this morning.
Thank you very much now.
All right, take care, and thanks to Kevin as well, and safe travels to both of you, and congratulations to our winner there. Right, okay. We're going to be out and about. It's not just this programme, by the way. I don't think we're on this show tomorrow. It might be two other shows. Caroline's looking at me as if to say, I told you this. We had a meeting about this. You know what's going on. Why do I keep having to repeat myself? I'm done with you. That's literally it. John Breslin show around the Northwest and Jive Time. Okay. Sorry to give you a pull the curtain back on the treatment that I have to endure here. All right, it is the 9 till noon show, giving away 20 bags of coal on Friday. We're going to give away a ticket to the card draw. That's, by the way, only if someone gets the right answer to this. That we were playing Say What. There's a missing word here from, it's actually this morning's breakfast show, because I liked it, so I thought I'd cut it out and use it.
Megan, you can take it away. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union, with monster loans available up to €60,000 for all occasions. Visit letterkennycu.ie.
Hoo-hoo! Just when you
you thought Christmas Day couldn't get any more magical, M&S have taken all the fuss out of cooking the turkey.
Go on.
Well, the Irish succulent turkey crown comes with pork, sage and onion stuffing, finished with crispy oak smoked bacon, and is ready to pop straight in the oven.
Oh, thanks, you made me drool all down my front.
So I did. Anyway, this is not just a turkey, this is an M&S turkey.
Selected stores, subject to availability, T's and C's apply.
Candles, lanterns, Christmas trees, decorations and all types of lights. Everything you need for Christmas. Experience the magic of Christmas at Cooney's. Our biggest and best Christmas shop has outstanding value on lights and trees. There really is something for everyone at Cooney's Letterkenny Retail Park.
Hello, Farmer Tinny here. Tinny's Toys are now open 7 days a week. New stock arriving weekly. Our Christmas Club is now open. Check out our entire range online at tinnystoys.com, where we offer free shipping on orders over €75. Buy now, pay later with Klarna. No extra charges. Tinny's Toys, Ireland's largest farm toy superstore. Down by.
Mike Denver in concert with guests Brendan Shine and Philomena Begley at the Mount Erigal Hotel, Letterkenny on January 6th and Millennium Forum Derry on March 18th. Tickets now on sale at both venues and ticketmaster.ie. That's Mike Denver with Philomena Begley and Brendan Shine in Letterkenny and Derry. The perfect Christmas gift.
For a beautiful bouquet of flowers this Christmas, call Annie's Flowers and Gifts, Letterkenny. Also candles and other beautiful festive table arrangements. Last orders for delivery outside Letterkenny by Tuesday the 20th. Local orders taken up to Friday the 23rd. Annie's Flowers and Gifts. Call 917740.
And now the Highland Forecast, brought to you by Shop LK. Widespread Christmas shopping this December in Letterkenny. See shoplk.ie or like us on Facebook.
Okay, let's have a look at the weather forecast for you this morning. And I had it open here, but it's closed. I'll find it for you now. It's a bit warmer anyway. Well, Oisin, leave me alone. This is tough. Oisin Kelly's standing in studio laughing at me. Windy today with fresh to strong and gusty. It's good to see him laughing, to be honest with you. Windy today with fresh to strong and gusty southerly winds. Cloudy with scattered showers and highs ranging from 9 to 12 degrees before cooler, drier, brighter conditions will follow from the southwest through the afternoon. Great bit of programming for you tonight, by the way. You know the Monday night sessions guys, Paul and Jimmy. Well, they're out and about, and I thought it was a brilliant idea actually. They're in Blake's in Letterkenny and they're broadcasting a show. But you know what? The music, it'll be worth going for the music in and of itself. They've got 3 hours of great crack and conversation, and that is broadcast live here on Highland Radio between 7 and 10. I think you can still call into Blake's. Look, it's a bar you can call in, of course. I think it's going to be really busy, you know, because you'll have the Monday night crew, both in terms of those working over the weekend who might try and get out for a few, and also the Monday night sessions crew will be there, and a few people from Highland, I'm sure, are going to pop their heads in. But also on top of that, it's going to be streamed live on our website, highlandradio.com, and across our social media. So if you've got yourself a smart telly, and I'm sorry to keep on about this, but many of you are watching right now, we have over 1 million live minutes viewed of this show every single month. So lots of you on different platforms watching lots of the show. But why not enjoy Monday night sessions live on our social media tonight? So if you've got a smart TV, and most of them are smart now, they'll have the YouTube app or they'll have the Facebook Watch app, right? And you can click into that, search Highland Radio Ireland, and you can watch it on your big screen, and it can come out through your surround sound system as well. So it's a different way to consume it. But most of you will be sitting at home on your radio listening to it, and that's fantastic. It's just to give other people the opportunity to either watch it across our socials or to call into Blake's from 7 o'clock as well. So there's always a good bit of crack. And I'd expect tonight to be no difference. I'd love to get planning permission to go and go there for an hour myself, but sure, we'll see what the crack is. Right, let's get an answer, or see, can we get an answer to this? Say what?
Megan, you can take it away. 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3.
So it's a 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, and then Caroline Sweeney from Drumkeen is going to tell us what the next word is. Caroline, good morning to you.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good.
Good stuff. Caroline, what do you think the answer is?
Is it 4?
Oh, you'd think it's 4, isn't it? But this is Lee Gooch we're talking about here, Caroline.
All right.
But come here, we've got a lovely box of sweets for you to munch over Christmas. Is that all right?
That's perfect.
We'll
Thank
get
you.
them out to you, Caroline. Thanks for playing. Thanks for getting involved. Right, Paddy Gibson's in Lifford. Hiya, Paddy.
How you doing, Greg?
I'm doing good. How are you keeping?
Oh, good. I'm out here loving the meals and wheels here, Greg.
Fair play to you, Paddy. And do you do that all year round, or is it just at this time of the year?
We do it all year round, Monday and Saturdays.
Brilliant. And is there more demand on the services at the moment, Paddy, or is it steady all the time?
I say it's steady. It's much the same. Much the same.
And
we do about 18 meals a day.
How many?
18 meals a day.
Wow, that's brilliant.
I run the company, 2 of us. We split the shifts now.
Fair play to you. Lovely hot meals then for 18 people.
Yeah, it's a hot meal and dessert. We get them down there in Ballyduff.
Oh, well done. That's fantastic. What a lift. I'd say they love to see you coming up the driveway, Paddy.
They get all the news, Greg, as well.
What's on the menu today?
Braised steak and mashed potatoes.
Wow.
Veg, of course.
Beautiful. All right. Well done, Paddy. So the two of you, between the two of you deliver 18 hot meals every single day?
No, every Monday and Saturday, twice a week.
Every Monday and Saturday. Okay, that's fantastic. Yeah. What a lift. All right. Well done, Paddy. Right. Okay. So what do you think the missing word is from Lee Gucci's show then? Naughty Alarm Clock.
Known Craig is number 5.
How do you know that?
I've listened to him this morning.
I'm lazy, aren't I? I should have had this done on Friday. Let's see if you're right.
Megan, you can take it away. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5.
1, 2, 3, 5. Only Lee Gooch would miss it. All right, well done. You're in the draw for 20 bags of coal on Friday, and we're going to stick you in the draw for Friday's car and the €3,000 as well, Paddy. So you're in all of that, and all you had to do was listen to Highland and give us a buzz. Continue your fantastic work that you are doing, Paddy. I won't hold you back because I'm sure there's a few people can't wait to see you landing.
No bother, Greg. Thank you.
All right, well done, Paddy. That's Paddy Gibson there from Lifford, doing a fantastic job there as well. Okay, so say what? We'll be back with you tomorrow with more great prizes. I told you the mugs were limited edition. We have to put more on order. We've had to place an order because we've been giving a few away, and as I say, a lot of people want a Highland Radio mug. What about that? Did you say I had to give a mug to someone else? But that'll come. She might have to wait for it, okay? Because we have a very regular listener here who said, so disappointed. I was working and couldn't call into Rafo, but I did text my friends to go in. Is that worth a wee Highland gift, lol? Well, we're going to sort you out a mug as well. We'll give you a buzz and find out who you are to reward your loyalty. So, okay. Let us see. A caller says, this is one that, we're in the... It would be one of those ones it'd be lovely to come up with a resolution for, because we are in Christmas week and we're having a bit more fun this week than hopefully we always have a wee bit of fun. But, we're going to try and have as much fun we can this week with different things. But one of the things we could do is return this person with to their purse, okay? And I'm sure someone out there has picked it up and wants to return it to Evelyn. So she was in the old Aldi last night doing Christmas shopping. I can only presume this is Letterkenny, is it? Is this Letterkenny? Yeah, if it's Old Aldi and someone doesn't mention a town, it's always Letterkenny. I was at the Old Aldi last night doing Christmas shopping. I left my purse in the trolley and went to get bread. And when I came back, my purse was gone. My money was in it, along with my pension card and sentimental items. So if you can help reunite this listener with their purse, please get in touch with us. 07491 25,000, 07491 25,000. Listen, thanks for your listening to the show today, and thanks for taking part. We're back tomorrow with more fun, more giveaways, covering also issues that are very important to you. That's the 9 till noon show tomorrow morning from 9 with me, Greg Hughes. Caroline all researched and produced, and Donna Marie works on the show very hard with us as well. John Bresson's up around the north